mute this mic. Testing.
Check.
Perfect.
All right.
Okay. Everything's set up. Everything's on. Hello. Oh, hey, Zach. Hey, Burkinator. Burkinator, the weather's getting real good for a certain stream in a hot tub.
Do you sit in a hot tub when it's hot out?
Actually, yeah, I take all of that back.
Hang on.
The weather's good to plan ahead for when the weather is better for a hot tub stream.
Like maybe the fall.
Yeah.
Or there's fall in Florida. Winter?
Yeah, in fairness, if he just doesn't heat it up, then it's just kind of a pool.
That's true.
We're just sitting in a nice pool on a hot day.
A tiny pool.
Yeah.
I guess you could do that.
Can you turn the bubbles on without it being hot? Surely you can.
Yeah, it should just be air shooting it through the jets, right? It doesn't need to be hot air.
I guess.
I don't know how hot tubs work.
I don't know how they work either. You're always welcome in my warm tub of water. Well, we got to figure that out because that sounds fun. It would be like the worst episode of a podcast recording. Like when I really
splashing.
There's a lot of splashing. Might actually have to turn off those bubbles and just sit a bunch of dudes sitting in water together.
What would you guys talk about?
I don't know.
I'd imagine it shouldn't be something too important.
Yeah, probably not. It's like, this is our most important episode. You can't.
So,
hear
what do you
shit.
guys think about the presidential debates?
God.
Did you see them arguing about golf?
I tried to skip through that part, actually.
Oh my god.
I'm very upset about those debates.
It's like, what have we become?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Oh boy.
I have a lot of thoughts on the debates, obviously. I'm trying not to vocalize them all on our fun stream.
Right.
Our fun comic book
I just hate all of it.
Themes stream. Yeah, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Okay. No, we're not going to talk about The Last Jedi. It's just not going to happen.
I like The Last Jedi.
Oh, see? He hates it.
So does most people I know.
I don't know
so
if you've noticed on our Discord, he famously hates
yeah. Most people I know hate it, to be fair. I hate Attack of the Clones. I don't think that's a hot take, though.
What? You hate it?
Attack of the Clones?
I don't hate it.
I mostly I like the ideas in it.
I like it.
I hate the way it's executed
Oh, well.
and written. I would still watch it, though, so I guess I don't hate it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's
you can
God, it's the Star Wars fan of me. I have to hate something.
Yeah, you can watch. Oh, yeah. You toxic piece of shit. Yeah, you can definitely, watch it and just kind of enjoy what's happening without kind of turning your brain off as to, all the things that are really bad in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much. I've always said if you just watch that movie with just the music, it's probably really good as a silent film.
Might actually work really well.
Wow, Attack of the Clones way better than sequel trilogy, says Burkinator. Talking force.
I think that's actually a hot take.
Boys. So we don't have any news to cover because I was on a conference for 2 days with my job.
I was trying to preserve my life in my own house.
Yes, your air conditioner broke, and you've been a refuge at my in-laws' house for a few days.
Yes.
Yeah, I was hanging out with my father-in-law, Sable's dad. He was telling me about it, and then apparently this morning his air stopped working.
Oh well, if they need a place to stay, they can stay at our place.
That's he joked about that. He's like, I'm gonna have to go over there and sleep with Birdo.
I mean, hey.
Yeah, man. Agree with that. Oh yeah, you two can be best friends about hating the sequels.
Oh yeah, you can.
So I was on a conference for the last 2 days. It was really busy. I didn't travel. It was in Orlando, but it was over in Disney.
Yeah, you were texting our group chat, and you're like, "Oh, I have 2 hours to kill before I have to be at my next thing," and you were just trying to figure out where to go in the meantime because going home is pointless.
Yeah, it was too far.
Yeah.
So I just kind of hung out in Disney. It was all right.
I guess you could have come and had a drink with me and Garrett, but then you would have had to immediately leave.
No, I would have had like 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would have been worth it.
Not been worth it.
No.
I learned a lot of important lessons about logistics when it comes to these conferences. Like, have all angles prepared. A change of clothes would have been nice. I ended up buying a soccer jersey, which I wanted anyway, so it all kind of worked out.
Nice. Something about buying a hockey jersey. Can't really wear that in the summer, but
no, or outside. Really.
Or outside. Not in this state.
I mean, not in Florida. Yeah.
Some news though. The Lightning might not get Steven Stamkos.
I saw that Stamkos might be done.
He might be a free agent.
Free agent. Yeah.
Ooh. That's sad.
It's gonna be a low blow to the Lightning.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
It's not a jersey.
It's basically a sweat. Yeah. It's an expensive ass sweater.
Yeah. I have two. Oh, we went to a Lightning game. I let you borrow one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. Mine's like super oversized.
They're like supposed to be.
Yeah, but the sleeves just hang like I look like Fievel. Like the sleeves like go all the way past my hands.
Because like I feel like if you're large, you're supposed to get like a double XL or something. And
yeah, after I bought that one, I'm like, if I ever buy another one of these, I'm gonna buy like the proper size and look, I guess, ridiculous, but at least
then it'd look like you're wearing like a tight sweater,
like a long sleeve shirt or something.
Yeah, it's gotta be a little big, but not too big.
A few Stanley Cups ago, and by that I mean almost 10 years ago, 9 years ago. It was like 2015.
Just a few.
It was either 2015 or 2016. It was 2015. I was in Chicago, and the Lightning were playing Chicago. The Blackhawks. No, they're called Chicago
Blackhawks. Yeah.
Blackhawks, yeah. In the Stanley Cup Finals. I was in Chicago, and so the whole city's obviously like going nuts, and I'm the one fuck from Tampa. Right, rooting for Tampa Bay, and I it was cold. It was great. I was wearing my jersey. It wasn't that cold.
Did you get yelled at?
I think someone did yell at me, but they were like already up a few games, and then they ended up winning like the next night. So
okay.
They aren't too like flustered about me. Yeah,
it's like whatever. Look at that idiot over there from Tampa.
Look at this Floridian piece of shit. Yeah, that was me. Yeah. So anyway, I've been getting to the point that we don't have news because I've just been busy, and you've been busy not dying.
Yeah.
And so I just thought we'd kind of chit-chat with the chat for a little bit for our warm-up.
They're talking hockey right now.
Yeah.
I love to see it.
I like snug clothing personally. Yeah.
I don't.
But like, yeah, but he works out a lot.
That's true. That's true.
He's always talking about working out. I like clothes that fit, so it's neither too snug or too
I think
loose.
I like it like slightly baggy.
Yeah.
That could be the skater boy in me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was looking at your shirt. I was like, this fits you kind of
Well, this
nice.
is a normal fit shirt.
Yeah, that's a well-fitting shirt. His
it's a Films from PZ shirt.
Yeah, you
can't fucking see it.
Yeah, his fit is Films from PZ. There you go. Mine is yeah, well, mine is a Star Wars shirt I picked up a few days ago. I oversold the comfiness of those shirts. Listen, Arculus, I can only speak for the one. For the one that I've been wearing for the last like 3 years, maybe after like 10 washes. I don't know. Maybe they changed the formula. It's been a while. I will say, and I've been wearing that one for a few washes. It's soft, but yeah, it is not as soft as the old one is. But they're the exact same shirt.
I mean, it's still comfortable. It's a comfortable shirt.
Yeah, it's above average.
Yeah, it's better than like the fucking Gildan shirts you'll buy from some screen printed bullshit.
Yeah. So don't fucking talk shit about our merch.
I saw somebody say temp check. What's the temperature in here? Like 70 something? It feels good in here. Yeah.
It's okay today. It's gonna get hot in a little bit because the three of us are in here.
I promise it won't affect me.
Okay.
Last night I was on Discord with them playing a game. My room was 91 degrees and I'm just sitting there on the PC. I'm on the mic, so I'm like, hang on, I gotta take off another layer of clothing real quick.
I'm gonna turn off my camera and get naked. I'm gonna take a dip in the bath, come back out sopping wet. Yeah, Philly, yeah, he's selling it up. The premium tee from the Films from. That's the thing. Did you get the premium tee?
This is the one I have. I have the premium.
Yeah, I only got the premium ones. They're only like $1 more or something. He says it's fine, but it didn't change his life. Yeah, but you know what changed your life? the meaning behind it. Us.
Yeah. He said people asked him about it.
Mine is comfy as hell's word all the time. Yeah. Thank you, Philly. You said it would change my life.
I might need to buy a few more.
You're not in the same room tonight.
But
no,
naked with 7 fans. That was me trying to sleep last night.
Yeah, we're talking about. We don't live together. We're talking about his house.
Tonight we're in the same room. Yes, but I was talking about it before.
I mean, I believe the internet, man. Yeah,
you have to believe the internet, man.
I was just being honest. I was being an honest salesperson about the shirts.
He was talking from his experience.
Mm-hmm. That's my experience. That's my truth. That's what they say.
You want to know the comfiest shirt I've ever worn?
What's that?
I bought it off of Amazon, actually. It was a Twitch shirt. It's like a Twitch T-shirt, but it has like a hood on it too.
Oh yeah. I've seen you wear that.
It's very comfortable.
Yeah. But it's like a t-shirt. It's like a thick T-shirt though, isn't it?
No, it's pretty thin. I don't know why it has a hood. I think it's just style.
It's not like really a hoodie.
No.
Oh, okay.
But it is very comfy.
The internet could never fail me unless we do a Transformers episode without Philly. That would hurt him deep.
Oh,
God.
Well, we got to do Revenge of the Fallen with them.
Backing us up into a corner here. Yeah. Cool. So, let's see what we're doing tonight. We're going to talk about the Acolyte episodes 3, 4, 5. That way you can finish the whole show in a few weeks with 6, 7, 8.
I can't believe there's 3 episodes left.
Yeah.
I'm curious what else is going to happen.
I'm just really hoping, because I quite enjoyed episode 5. That was so good.
I enjoyed it a lot, too.
I'm really hoping that, it doesn't just, tank after this,
Right, it's like oh, well, that was the peak. I don't know what to do now.
Yeah.
Like the Marvel shows tended to do on Disney Plus.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
It's like it hit a peak
early.
And then it's like, and
slowly kind of fizzle out. Yeah.
They busted a little too early.
Episode 4 was great. Episode 5 was cinema. Yeah, we're going to talk about it. Rip. Can we... Jackie.
Oh, man.
Oof. Jackie, man. Yeah. We're kind of scared it might crash. I mean, I have no reason... I thought it was a slow start, but, I didn't hate it because we'll talk about it for officially, but
yeah, I like slow burns.
I do too, and I thought this is definitely it's taking its time to slowly set up these characters so that later I can just kind of go balls to the wall, and that's exactly what happened.
Let's explore these characters and then just fucking done.
And just
which is the most Game of Thrones thing to do.
It kind of is, isn't it?
Yep.
Right when you start,
you'll start cheering for a character, and it's like, oh. I guess bad things happen to good people.
I saw a really funny tweet, and it was talking about how this guy was just going on and on about how Jackie's his new favorite character for whatever reason. I think maybe because
that was Arculus. He loved her.
Yeah, I think it was just because she was cool, and Daphne Keane is great, and how she put all her she's basically dedicated her life to be an extremely over the top physical actor, right?
Yeah.
And is really impressive for 16 or however old she is now. And then the guy went on and wrote a whole paragraph, and then 3 days later retweeted it and was like, "What the fuck?"
Oh my god.
It's it's your new favorite character immediately gone.
That's Game of Thrones shit, man.
Murdered.
Yeah.
You can use that in the podcast.
Did you say something earlier? Oh, it was a Star Wars Red Wedding.
Oh yeah. There you go.
You haven't even seen the Red Wedding.
I know what it is. I know cultural references. I need the Jedi triple flipping force speeding their way everywhere. Yeah. I hope it ends on another good fight.
Jackie's greater than Yord. Yeah, Yord was a little boring.
He could have probably used a few more moments to really kind of end his character off a little better, I think.
Yeah, but the way everything was so sudden though, it got that shock factor in.
Yeah. Sabdrob is here. Hello. Oh well, I just watched the day
episode. Oh, he hasn't watched Night yet. He's okay.
You need to leave.
You need to watch it.
You could just watch it now and come back because we won't be talking about it by then.
That's true.
It's 30 minutes long. In 30 minutes, we won't be there.
It's 25 minutes because it's 7 minutes of credits.
It's 29 before the credits.
Okay,
I marked
okay.
it. Yeah. Too bad I don't watch Game of Thrones. Yeah, who cares?
Hi, Blake. Nothing can be the red wedding.
Oh, Philly.
Yours
Yours sucks. Step above a red shirt. I did see a funny meme where like
while wearing no shirt.
Yeah, I saw a funny meme where all of the they superimpose red shirts on all the other Jedi, like the nameless ones that all die. Yeah. I gotta wrangle kittens. Oh, okay. Well, that happens sometimes. That's happened to you many times.
Yeah.
How's Snowball doing in the heat?
She
Better?
was fine. She was unfazed the whole time. She was just kind of just laying around, just meowing because she wants food. Same as usual.
Arculus asking me what color lightsaber would I have? I've always been partial to green lightsabers.
I've always been partial to yellow.
Okay.
So I'm so happy to see a bunch of yellow lightsabers in live action now.
Although, yeah, were you gonna say something?
I think orange might look better though as a lightsaber color.
Orange is cool.
Orange is a cool color.
Yeah.
So like yellow orange,
But
that part of the color spectrum.
Yellowy
though.
orange,
Maybe like a yellowy
or the dark red orange, like Balin's Skull.
That one's cool. A little more lighter though.
A little more Jedi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the Philly's right. The blood orange though, those are pretty cool looking ones.
Yeah. I like Yord's haircut. Is that what you're talking about?
I guess.
Oh.
What
Blood orange
else?
from Ahsoka stole my heart from the spot. Yeah. What about the
SWTOR pre-order crystal?
what color was that?
It's yellow, but like how the core is usually white.
Yeah.
It's black instead.
Oh, that's weird.
It's
So-
weird looking, but it does look cool.
So it's like a yellow version of the Darksaber, kind of.
Pretty much.
Okay.
So imagine a Darksaber with like a yellow outer glow though,
Yeah.
and you only got that for pre-ordering SWTOR back in
Okay.
fucking 2011.
Nice.
So I'm one of the few people in that game that has that crystal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Purple since saw Windu as a child.
Okay.
I think I like the color green a lot more, and then when I saw it in Return of the Jedi, I was just like, what the fuck? You can do that?
You know why I like yellow lightsabers so much?
From
It all
playing Knights of
started
the Old Republic or something?
Before
bullshit?
Knights of the Old Republic,
Okay.
actually. All right, so there was a game. It was a tie-in game to Episode 1 on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
It was called Jedi Power Battles.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
You basically played through Episode 1. It was almost like an
And
arcade game, and there was like different Jedi you played as.
Yeah, and it broke canon because all the Jedi had the wrong color lightsabers.
Well, yeah, I can't pronounce her name, but Adi Galia. She had a red lightsaber in it.
Oh, really?
Mace Windu had a blue lightsaber.
Yeah.
Plo Koon had a yellow lightsaber.
I thought that was Ki-Adi-Mundi.
No, Ki-Adi-Mundi, I think, just
Had like orange.
he had like green or something.
No. He had a different color. Someone looked this up for us.
I think he had purple. He had purple.
No way.
Yeah, in that game, I believe so.
I think it was orange, I want to say.
I
That
don't remember orange.
he had an orange lightsaber.
Maybe in a comic.
And then by hold on, because I know it wasn't like
It wasn't the correct color. in the game.
yeah, because
yeah.
and then this was Episode 1 era.
Yeah.
Right? So like none of these people had pulled out a lightsaber yet on screen.
Right.
By Burkiner says it was purple.
In that game, right? It was purple.
Okay.
I believe
So because by Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, he had a blue one and a green one.
Yeah.
He had both.
He swaps between
Yeah.
them.
We'll bring this up in the episode.
But no, like Plo Koon had a yellow lightsaber in that
Yeah.
game, and that's also why I liked Plo Koon too.
Okay.
And that's why Plo Koon became like my favorite Jedi.
So like
So it all goes back to that kind of
Yeah.
shitty PS1 game. It's not a great game. I don't know if you played it ever.
I don't think I played it. I
It's-
remember it, but I didn't play
It's
it.
notoriously difficult, but like
It
not
was
in a
PS1
fun or
game,
fair
though,
way.
right? I didn't
Yeah.
have a PS1.
Yeah.
I was on PS2, but not PS1.
In Revenge of the Sith, Monday has blue. Yes, he does.
Revenge of the Sith. He's in Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah,
I mean,
he
he
gets gunned down during Order 66.
Oh, that's right.
He's
that's
like
right.
running, and he's like,
And
"Come on!"
Yeah, and then they all hover around him and just keep on shooting. They just kick that dead horse, man. They're just like,
They do the same thing to Ayla Sakura. They shoot the shit out of her.
oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
They shoot the shit out of her. Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one that the camera like lingers on, and then they're just like shooting her, and her like body's like,
Yeah, it's like y'all didn't need to do that.
Like, we get it, man. She's dead.
Maybe they hated her.
Maybe it was just like, maybe that's the one. Maybe that's the reason that's the death that stuck. Oh no, that wasn't her. That's I'm thinking of the other Jedi.
Who?
The one that died 4 times.
Shakti?
Shakti, yeah.
Does she have a canon death yet? I don't think she does.
Yeah, one of them's canon.
We don't see it.
I think Order 6, isn't she in Order 66? No, because they were going to have her die earlier in the movie.
Grievous was going to kill her on the bridge of the ship. The Invisible Hand, is that the name of the ship? What a stupid name. George.
Hold on a second. A lot of those names aren't like really canon. Like they were like, we'll talk about.
It was like in the novelization or something.
Yeah, or on a playing card or some toy or something.
Something that will be decanonized immediately if they decide to.
But like in the movie, they don't necessarily name everyone and everything. Like
no, it's just like that's the Grievous's flagship.
I think like Palpatine wasn't named, and it was like a novel or a comic or something at the time, because they only ever call him the Emperor.
They don't call him Palpatine at all in the original trilogy.
I don't think so. Yeah,
it might say it in the opening crawl, maybe.
Ooh, you might be right. It might say maybe Emperor Palpatine.
Maybe it might also just say the Emperor. So
right, but they never say his name. Is my point.
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, at least.
There was another one where I was like,
but I knew he was Palpatine when Episode 1 came out because I was like, that guy has the same name as the Emperor. How did I know that?
Someone looked that up. I think it might be written somewhere, like the opening crawl, but they never say Palpatine.
They might say like once
in Return of the Jedi. She dies twice. Yeah, but they cut one of those out.
I think they cut both those out.
Oh, well.
Because she also dies in the Force Unleashed video game.
Right.
You kill her by pushing her into a giant Sarlacc pit.
Yeah, but that was never canon.
No. It was never going to be canon.
That was never canon at the time. Yeah. Phantom Menace set Palpatine named on screen for the first time.
But how did I know
Menace.
He was the Emperor?
Because
when I was a stupid kid.
Here's how I knew.
It must have been in some like expanded universe something.
It says right there. He wasn't named until 99.
Right. But somehow in 99, named on screen for the first time.
Okay.
Somehow,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
but somehow I knew.
The name existed. Someone looked this up because the name existed.
Well, it's also the same actor, but I didn't put together it was the same actor until like 10 years later.
Oh, yeah, me neither.
Yeah.
I was like, how'd they do this? He was a young man when he played the Emperor. That's how.
Right. In canon, she dies twice during Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah, but it's not really canon because they're deleted scenes.
Right.
They called him Palpatine in the prologue. Okay, in the crawl. Is that what you're saying, Arculus?
In the prologue, are you still talking about Phantom Menace?
Return of the Jedi? So,
somehow that name was in my head though at the time.
Philly says I'm a deleted scene. Okay.
Fucking got you.
Yeah, right. Whoa. So, what the fuck were we just talking about? Grievous? Palpatine. Here's how I knew, because I'm stupid. No, it's not that I'm stupid. It's just I was a kid. When the toys came out,
right?
The episode 1 toys, they came with like a little, on the box, had one of those kind of like 3D viewer window things.
Oh.
And you could...
They also came with those little chips with the voice clips.
It came with both of these things.
Yeah.
So like, there was a voice chip, and you would attach it to like a
You had to buy the communicator. Yeah.
But then also, it had that little 3D window guy. So you would flip the window, and it would show you who that character was in the original trilogy.
Okay.
So like, Palpatine, like there was an action figure for this nice-looking old man. Or nice-looking middle-aged man, and you'd flip it.
I remember his robes had like little openings in the sleeves, and one of his fingers were pointing. I think, if I'm thinking about the right Palpatine figure.
Weird. And you would flip it, and it would turn into the Emperor. But like at the time, like the movie hadn't come out yet, so I was like, "Oh shit!" Like that's a spoiler. Like they haven't even introduced this man, and like in episode 1, you're only
you're not supposed to know.
You're not supposed to know that his name is Palpatine. We need to look this up.
No, they call him Palpatine in episode 1.
Okay, here we go. A curious piece of trivia is that the Phantom Menace is the first time the character's name was spoken on screen in a feature film. If
one is only going by the movies, the Emperor remained unnamed for 22 years.
Okay, yeah, so where did...
But where was he first actually named?
So I think you're supposed to, as an adult watching it, I'm like, you're supposed to recognize that this guy looks like the Emperor, right? No, because when he dresses up as Sidious,
Well, I guess you can kind of tell looking at like
his mouth and his hood and the way he talks, he's clearly the Emperor.
Because he doesn't really do this yet.
Yeah. That's your only, like, the name Palpatine didn't mean anything. So that toy was totally a spoiler.
Yeah,
is all I'm saying.
I told this before, but most of those chips I had were in Spanish because in '99 I was living in Puerto Rico.
That is hilarious.
I need to find those.
Here we go. Oh boy. What about the name Palpatine? In Michael Kaminsky's 2007 book, The Secret History of Star Wars, it was revealed that Lucas had originally envisioned a long line of corrupt emperors, not just Palpatine, and that the emperor was on the throne at the time of Star Wars was to be named, no kidding, Cost da shit.
Cost da shit. Some real glup shitto energy there. What the fuck?
At the time of Star Wars. So, like, that was going to be
shit?
That was going to be Palpatine's original name, is what he's saying?
Caused the shit.
Though the films originally do not actually, the novelization of Return of the Jedi confirms his name as Palpatine. Okay, so it was in the novelization of Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
The character's first name, Sheev, was introduced in the novel Tarkin in 2014. I feel like I knew Sheev Palpatine before 2014.
2014 was a while ago.
It was 10 years ago, yeah. I guess not. Philly says hi.
Hi, Philly.
Sable says hi. That's fascinating. But see, like, it just kind of goes to show, like, in Star Wars, like, you can pull from Legends, or
you can pull from Legends whenever you want.
But even at the time, they're like, hey, like, should we name this character? I don't know. Did someone else do it in a book or something?
Cause the shitto.
Palpatine. Oh, that's way better. Let's go with that.
All right, we'll use it.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go grab. You're still drinking this.
Wait.
No.
Damn it, Berto.
He any excuse to chug.
Yeah.
And he'll do it. And then I'll be back. Burkinator had asked what we were drinking, and I completely ignored him. It was espresso daiquiris.
Yeah, they're not martinis because there's rum in it.
Exactly.
Arculus, the reason why I love chugging drinks is because in elementary school we used to do milk races.
There's lore to this?
Yeah.
There's lore to your chugging?
Yeah.
Does he know about it?
I don't know. I feel like I've said this before.
I've never in my life heard of this. Go on. What was this? Milk?
You know how you got those stupid little cartons of milk at lunch? Well, we'd race to see who finished it first.
Chugging milk is crazy.
And then you'd have to open up the other side and flip it over and show that you drank all of it.
Would you do chocolate or regular?
Strawberry.
Oh. Ooh. Did you know there's lore to his chugging? And where his origin story with it?
Elementary school lunch.
Are you guys always chugging?
We were racing to see who could finish first.
See, like, that's some...
It's some stupid kid shit.
That's some pre-addict behavior that, like, a parent needs to be like, hey,
Someone needed to step in, and they didn't.
Yeah. In middle school, I had a friend who wanted to snort pixie sticks.
That's
dust,
so fucking stupid.
and he would.
Smoke a Smarties? I used to. I thought it was so cool. I
Yeah.
was in school rolling that shit with my book.
Yes. But this kid would open up a pixie stick,
Oh, a pixie.
pull out the powder,
And
put it
snort
in
it?
like a line
You're
of
snorting
Coke,
sugar?
and just snort it. And like, as the rest of us kids who didn't know about drugs didn't know that what he was like emulating. We're like,
Did he know what he was emulating?
I think so, because he used words like snort. And I was like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? And he was just like, dude was out of his fucking mind. He was an actual sociopath.
What's he doing right now?
I don't know. I've been avoiding him for decades. Last time I saw him was like right after I moved here. So it was like 2012.
Should send him some pixie sticks.
No.
Never mind. You might trigger something.
Yeah. He's probably addicted to drugs.
Maybe. You never know. He could be totally healthy.
What are y'all talking about? What happened here?
I don't know. I feel like we gotta scroll up. I missed some
I
stuff.
thought you were talking to him.
I was explaining lore. We'll say we'll start asking questions.
He's doing lines of coke off strippers' asses. That's probably true. I used to do that at Mike's house. They'd pour me a cup of milk just to see how quick I could drink it. That's how you get someone to throw up. Arculus says he's a pro chugger.
Oh, he's a pro milk chugger. Oh, yeah. Oh, he was telling me to chug it. I didn't chug it because I was too busy talking.
Once per stream, Birdo slams his drink. No, don't do it. There's coffee in that.
You're right.
That'll fuck you up more than any amount of alcohol. Anyway, should we get started?
I guess we
what
should.
Do you, what do you want
should
to do
we do
first?
the keep or cancel first?
I don't know.
We could do that. Just
Okay.
close that off. Just get rid of it.
Yeah, that episode's basically just waiting on keep or cancel.
Yeah.
And then I can.
How do you guys feel about Hugh Jackman? Because we're about to talk about him.
Yeah, so
Way y'all are canceling him. What's
No, of
the
course
point of
not.
that?
The point of this type, it's not a real. Are you new here?
I feel like it because I haven't been on him forever.
It's a.
Mic me up.
It's a loose framing structure.
No, it's the framing.
Philly, we're keeping or canceling Hugh Jackman because we're finishing our Logan episode real quick.
We hate Hugh Jackman.
Keep or cancel Hugh Jackman.
Should you start a new recording for this?
No, I figured I'll do it all at once.
Oh, okay. All right.
I see why not. I don't see any reason why not.
All right.
Hugh Jackman, born in October 12th, 1968 in Sydney, Australia.
Whoa, he old.
He's 55. It's not that old.
It's older than me.
I mean, okay,
By
sure.
a good 25 years.
Born in Sydney, Australia, born to English parents who immigrated to Australia the year prior. So he's Australian, but he comes from an English family, which is weird.
Huh.
It's a fascinating concept to me, but I'm like, it's not that.
He's Australian, geographically.
He's Australian, I'm Floridian. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My parents came
his
from
family's not Australian,
else.
but yeah.
And in my head I was like, man, but he really got that Australian accent though.
It's
pretty strong.
thick.
Yeah. And but I'm like, it's not that different than me. I don't have an accent because I was raised here.
I don't
My
really
parents
I don't
have
have
an
an accent
accent,
either. I guess I
yeah.
sound I don't even sound like I'm from the South. Where the fuck do I sound like I'm from?
I don't know. You've got a regular accent.
Can anybody in the chat figure out where the hell I'm from?
There's a name for the regular American accent because then some people will say there's no such thing as a default American accent, but there is one that's the most popular, and that's what we
I feel
have.
like the Southern ones used a lot in movies and shit though.
Arculus says you have a Corellian accent.
Oh, I'm from Corelli.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I'll take it.
So anyway, so it makes him a dual citizen of Australia and England. His parents got divorced. His dad, he has two brothers. He has one brother, two sisters. There's 2 boys, 2 girls. His dad keeps the boys in Australia, and his mom takes the girls to England. A little weird.
Interesting.
They're raised apart. I wonder.
Maybe Australia is just too dangerous.
So imagine they all get together and they have Australian accents, but then the girls have British accents because they're in England. Weird.
It's a weird situation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. You have family in Texas. Do they have Texan accents?
No, because not that I can pick up. None of them sound like Texan.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just find that so fascinating.
Whoa,
Anyway.
you're gonna play Alan Wake 2 on your SSD? Hell yeah.
Okay. His first play was in primary school, as in elementary school or middle school, high school, probably high school. It's all considered primary school over there. He was in My Fair Lady. And then he took off a year from uni, as in college, is what we call it here, to go to England, where he was a PE teacher for a year.
Physical education.
Yeah. So, have you seen the interview where he recognizes a student of his from his 1 year as a PE teacher when he was 21 years old?
What the fuck? No, I have not.
Yeah, and this just kind of goes to show how just kind of great of a person Hugh Jackman seems to be. Is that so? He was, and this is not that long ago. He was interviewed on like a red carpet, whatever, and he recognizes the interviewer by name, says his name, and he asks if he's kept up with his physical education. And he's just like he kind of like is like warding off all of the serious questions about like the movie he's in, because he's more fascinating.
He wants to
by,
catch up with like the student.
He's more fascinated by the fact that like he's being interviewed by a former student of his from that 1 year he was a teacher when he was like young. He was 21.
That was like pre-X-Men, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was pre-actor. So anyway, I'm gonna try my best to link everything below. You gotta watch that one. It's pretty good.
So weird.
So it goes back to Sydney, where he graduated with a bachelor's degree in communications, right? Very ordinary degree. But to fill up his schedule in his last semester, he took a drama class where he says, he says, I felt more at home with those people than I did the entire 3 years at a university.
Wow.
As in the other 3 years, or maybe he did in 3 years. I don't fucking know. And then so he starts acting. He was in Corelli, which is an Australian TV show. Only lasted 1 season.
Not to be confused with Corellia, the planet.
From Star Wars that we were just talking about.
Right.
Yeah, okay. And then in the theater, he goes, he was in Beauty and the Beast. Guess who he plays?
Beauty.
Come on.
Belle. Beast.
Bro.
Lumiere.
Who fan cast him for 1 second. Who's
Gaston.
He gonna be? Hell yeah, Gaston.
I could see Beast.
I guess maybe.
Yeah.
That's because you're doing the Wolverine thing though.
Oh shit, yeah. Hang on.
Yeah.
Let's go back to like young Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, just real handsome man. Philly in the chat says the only significant thing Delaware has done is give us Birdo.
I've never set foot in Delaware in my life.
Fuck.
I might have flown over it, but never been in it.
Oh.
I've been to Maryland.
Okay, I scrolled up too far.
Whoa.
Oh, here we go. Bet Birdo's from some bum ass state like Delaware. See, that was the origins of that other comment.
Whoa.
And then Philly says he remembers seeing a behind the scenes from The Greatest Showman, the only good musical, debatable.
Hot take.
Where the bearded lady, I can't remember her name, is practicing a song, and she reaches for support, and he holds her hand the entire song, just because he's a nice guy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he's a very nice guy.
Apparently, he's just a really stand-up dude.
Yeah. Hey, Cosmic
Firefox, hello. So then he was in a string of theater roles. Sunset Boulevard, Oklahoma. That was in London, where he that's a big production now.
Yeah.
Where he was nominated for an Olivier Award, which is like a big deal.
Is London's West End, is that like Broadway for them?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know. Blake's take. Wait, what? Hold on a second.
I think Philly suspended him.
What did Blake say?
Philly, what an awful take, per usual.
Suspension for 60 seconds. Okay. When
All
Philly when Blake gets back, don't suspend him anymore. Yeah, he's abusing his power over here.
God damn it, Philly.
Blake.
Classic Philly.
I can see him at his computer screen right now to be like, what the fuck?
He's probably screaming at his computer. It takes far fewer than 60 seconds to upset Blake, let me tell you. He would have been upset like for a 10-second ban. He's gonna come back all caps.
Oh no.
And then finally his breakthrough role was Wolverine in 2000's X-Men.
Hell yeah.
The role was originally written for Russell Crowe. Could you fucking believe that?
I feel like that wouldn't be. I mean, this was Russell Crowe hot off of Gladiator, but still.
Oh, I guess you're right, actually.
But still.
There Blake's back, and he's in all caps. The role was also offered to the bad guy from Mission Impossible 2. What's his name?
I didn't see that one.
Dougherty Scott is
Who
his
the
name.
fuck is that?
Some fucking low timer. I mean, he's not like, Hugh Jackman, but he turned it down to be in fucking Mission Impossible 2, which is the dumbest. It's the worst Mission Impossible.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't have an opinion.
It's not a good role, and it's not a good movie.
Oh,
and he really missed out, obviously. Also, obviously, it should be noted he probably wouldn't have had the success as Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He really kind of ran away with the role, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, the role originally for Russell Crowe, who instead suggested Hugh Jackman for the part.
Had they worked together?
I meant to look that up. They're fellow Australians.
So hey, there's this other Australian actor. He's up and coming.
Yeah, he might have been seen.
His name's Hugh.
Jackman said that his wife advised against him taking the role as she found it ridiculous. Like, oh, you're gonna be. Well, this is again. X-Men
they also didn't know what a Wolverine was.
Oh yeah, I'm about to get to that. Okay. But like at the time, like they didn't know what X-Men would become.
Right.
They didn't know what Marvel would.
Comic book movies were still kind of a joke.
This was the first good one. We've talked about it. Is X-Men in 2000 was like the first like modern day comic book
right.
movie.
And it's like you could argue Blade, but
no, people weren't watching that.
Like, it wasn't. I mean? It wasn't the same. Yeah.
Like before this, you had the Schumacher Batman movies,
which kind of got canceled.
Yeah, well, that kind of like put a stop to like superhero movies for a minute.
Yeah,
right?
thanks to Mr. Freeze.
Yeah. So this was the first serious one. This and Spider-Man really just kind of like paved the way to the situation that we ended up with. So like that's completely understandable. He initially studied wolves to develop his character, as he thought that Wolverine alluded to wolves.
That's fair.
It's a fair, wrong assumption, I think, right? Yeah. But then, he goes on to talk all about how, like, because this was, like, his first breakout role, he took it incredibly seriously.
And he took it seriously all the way through, too.
Yeah, he's never...
till the end.
He's never gone...
Till now.
He's never done less than 100% on this character.
Yeah.
Like in his shows. Mm-hmm. But apparently, like, he wanted to get used to the claw, so he wore them around his house for, like, weeks on end, like, doing normal stuff.
To see... Oh, like, just let me see if I can pick up this glass.
Yeah. Let me see if I can wipe my ass with the claws.
I am Wolverine now.
He also studied like actors that he thought were really talented at like acting without saying a lot of words, because in the script he doesn't get a lot of lines.
No, there's a lot of like grunting and like
right. But he has to do a lot of physical acting, and so like he studied. He said he kind of copied other actors like Mel Gibson in Mad Max movies, where he doesn't really say much.
Yeah, Mel Gibson, Max, the character Max in general in those movies doesn't say much at all. Yeah.
Right. Blake says, I mean, I'd do that too if I had dope claws. Wipe your butt?
What if the claw... Never mind.
Yeah. Let's just leave it right there. And then he also mentioned how he insisted on doing the majority of his own stunts for that kind of added...
I think he did that up until like the end too, right?
Yeah, and he was concerned too. Yeah, and he was kind of also concerned about the height thing, because because he's like very conventionally handsome. Like Wolverine's supposed to be like this like ugly, short, dirty guy.
Yeah,
like he's trailer trash. And like when they try to make Hugh Jackman look like trailer trash for Wolverine,
he just looks cool.
He looks cooler and hotter, man. Like he just looks better.
Like at the beginning of the Wolverine, where he's just like, "Oh, I've been living in the wilderness." I'm like, "Why you look so fucking cool right now?" Dude?
Or when he's a lumberjack.
Yeah,
like I want to hang out with you. Or his first appearance, and he's just like a cage fighter. Like it's badass, man.
Yeah,
I used to watch that scene on repeat as a kid.
But he's supposed to be like kind of gross, but like Hugh Jackman just can't be gross. Like the character of Wolverine is gross.
Right. Yeah, you should be like gross and sweaty and like unapproachable, but you're like, that guy's fucking cool.
Yeah, he's basically a muscular Danny DeVito, Like that's what he should have been.
Danny DeVito should have been Wolverine
if he was bigger,
Oh my god!
But not much bigger, honestly. Anyway, he reprised his role in a million movies. X2, X-Men: The Last Stand, X-Men Origins, Wolverine, X-Men First Class, short cameo, The Wolverine, X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse, also a short cameo, Logan, and now the upcoming Deadpool and Wolverine. He holds the record for longest career as a live-action Marvel superhero. And they say Marvel because I think technically Michael Keaton might have him beat by reprising his role.
Oh, because he came back
Flash.
in The Flash?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But that shouldn't count because he didn't do any of that in the middle, right? He was only in 3 movies.
True.
Where...
So what's going to happen when they inevitably bring back... I say inevitably. It's probably not going to happen. Wesley Snipes as a Blade variant.
Wesley Snipes didn't want to keep his eyes open for the movie that he was being paid to do. Ain't no shot in hell he'll come back to do this.
He's been talking about Blade a lot.
Has he really?
Yeah.
That's because he's out of work. No one likes him anymore.
I think that's why. And that's like his role that was like most remembered. But
I think he thought he was gonna like go on to do bigger things, and then he didn't. Anyway, other movies include Kate and Leopold, Swordfish. Stop me if you've seen any of these movies. Swordfish is one I've always been meaning to watch, so it's supposedly very good, but
I haven't seen it.
The Prestige, seen that a bunch of times. Great film. The Fountain. This is one I was talking about earlier in the episode. From Darren Aronofsky. It's a trip. It's time traveling and it's weird, and I've heard great things about it, but like it didn't do really well at all. And he's one of the main characters, I believe.
Okay.
A movie called Scoop alongside Scarlett Johansson. Small film. The only reason I bring it up is because to sort of develop a friendship with Scarlett Johansson later on when he's in X-Men Origins Wolverine and he befriends Ryan Reynolds. Part of the reason why their friendship started blossoming is because he was at the time married to Scarlett Johansson.
Oh.
Ryan Reynolds was. And so they were already kind of close, and so like they started kind of hanging out off set and stuff like that.
I didn't know that.
And that kicked off like their like bromance is still going on. And the reason why this movie exists.
That's the reason
Deadpool
why we're getting Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah.
It's probably one of the
It might be the reason why Deadpool exists. Period.
What? Oh, the first movie?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think Hugh Jackman had a lot to do with that.
Oh, okay.
They reference him a lot in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're
like specifically.
Because they're buddies. Cosmic Firefox subscribed for
thank you.
Another month. Thank you so much. And he loves Swordfish. I need to watch it. Ryan Reynolds was married to ScarJo. Yes, he was. They had a kind of a messy divorce.
Oh.
They're not close. They're not. It was not okay, I guess.
Yikes.
Yeah. Happy Feet.
I've seen that one.
Is it good?
It's okay.
It's by George Miller.
It's
he makes good movies. Mad Max.
He does. It's crazy how the guy that made Mad Max made Happy
and
Feet.
And Babe.
Pig in the City. That'll do.
I think both of them. Yeah.
That'll do. Pig.
Yeah, he did both of those movies. It's weird how he's got range. That man.
Very diverse. Happy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good animated movie. It's
what?
It's a penguin that's like dancing.
Oh yeah. One of these days we'll eventually do that Justice League Mortal movie. It was supposed to be a George Miller movie.
Oh.
And it never got made.
Oh, when we start doing movies that haven't been made yet?
Yeah.
Because we got a few.
Yeah, there's like 5 of them.
Yeah. Okay. I said haven't been made yet. Haven't been made at all.
At all.
They're not going to.
They're not going to make them. Yeah. Anyway, movie 43. Didn't know he was in that. Never watched it.
Here's the thing. Movie 43 is not a good movie.
No.
But it's like, it's kind of funny.
Well, okay. Les Miserables. I love that movie. I love that play. And he's beyond incredible in it.
One day more.
Yeah. Obviously he's a song and dance guy, and so like it was a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Obviously, stars opposite Russell Crowe, who's just awful. He just really weighs that movie down. Otherwise,
is Russell Crowe a good actor?
I think he's a good actor.
Because I feel like, at least lately, everything he's been in, you can kind of like point and laugh at him.
Oh, we got hype train.
We got a hype
train.
Yeah.
Oh, we also have
thanks,
okay. Oh no, more stuff's happening. Captain also resubscribed. Thank you so much. And then movie 43 is one of the biggest piles of shit I've ever seen. Says Philly. Yeah, that'll happen.
Philly hates comedies, though. Remember?
Yeah, but I mean,
no, it's not a great comedy.
It's widely agreed.
Upon
that. Well, what Philly says that this is a pile of shit. Anyway.
No, he doesn't. Oh, my bad.
What's the movie where he plays a smart guy?
Who? Russell Crowe?
Yeah, he has like, and he sees. He says he's crazy. He sees dead people.
Man of Steel.
Well, okay. A brilliant mind. Thank you. Yeah, like he was like nominated for something there, wasn't he? Yeah.
I don't know if he was or not.
Anyway, I think he's a good actor. He kind of just like, I think he's one of those that like just kind of phones it in a lot though, and he has been for a while.
Okay.
Anyway, I love Les Mis. And the movie's great despite Russell Crowe trying to ruin it the best he can. Pan. Did you see Pan?
No, I know what it is. I haven't seen it.
The Peter Pan movie. It's not good.
I'm not a fan of just Peter Pan in general. I think I've said this before.
It's weird. I love Peter Pan.
I think he's kind of creepy.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. I like Peter Pan. I didn't like this movie. It was weird. And it's like a Peter Pan prequel. So, like, you meet Captain Hook when he's still young. And he's, like, a nice guy. And he hasn't really, like, fallen off the deep end yet. But he's taking his inspiration from Blackbeard, the pirate. And Blackbeard is played by Hugh Jackman.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. But there's a really weird part where like they go to like Blackbeard's like pirate haven and they're all singing. They do like song and dance numbers.
Okay.
But they're singing like modern day rock anthems. Like,
oh, that's weird.
We Will Rock You.
So they're doing like the thing like A Knight's Tale did and like
yeah, but Knight's Tale's
Moulin Rouge.
Those did it better.
Oh, this is just weird.
It's weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird, and it makes you go, "What?" Yeah, they do a Nirvana song.
What?
It's weird, man.
Hang on, I think Philly's implying Nirvana's bad though, and I disagree with that.
Oh, that's not okay. Not okay. Anyway, The Greatest Showman. I had a big problem with this movie. And I don't remember what it was. I think it just fell short of its potential.
I think because I've seen this. I really like the songs. I like the music and all that. Good. I don't like the movie itself, though.
I think that's what.
Like, I'll listen to the soundtrack and enjoy the shit out of it, but
yeah,
like, the movie, I'm like, eh.
The people who wrote it are really talented. They went on to do the musical with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. Spirited.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that.
Oh, we've talked about it.
We've talked about it, and I said like,
watch it this Christmas. It's good.
Yeah.
Okay, well, are you happy he's dead, Philly? Because anyway, talking about Kurt Cobain. The Greatest Showman. I remember thinking that like there's a moment in the beginning where like the way it's blocked. It's not like set in like a real universe. It's set like on a stage, basically.
Right.
And like there's like backdrops. You know, it's almost like they're in a storybook or something.
It's like Super Mario Bros. 3.
Yes.
The whole thing's a play.
Yeah, that's kind of what this movie's like. But then they kind of abandoned that after the first half of the movie. And I was like, pick a lane. Like if you're gonna,
well, that's weird.
Yeah, if you're gonna do that, do
that. I
never
never noticed that.
Because in the beginning of the movie, there's like these song and dance numbers, and like they move like the set,
right,
as if it's like a play. And then there's a really good dance number in the middle, where they're like jumping from like set to set, and it's in real space. It's not like they're cutting.
Right.
It's like no, like this is how the set physically is built, and they live within this set. So I thought they'd do more
and then
with
later
that.
in the movie, they're like, oh, actually, this is the real world.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I don't, like they had a motif going, and it was like, go do more of that, because that was very interesting, and no one's really done that. I need to watch it again, but anyway, The Front Runner. These are newer movies. Bad Education and The Sun. I haven't heard of.
I haven't seen any of his recent stuff.
I heard of Bad Education, but I didn't see it.
I have seen Australia.
Oh, Australia. Did I skip that one?
I think you did.
That was another Russell Crowe connection. He replaced Russell Crowe in that movie.
Him and Russell Crowe have a weird relationship. Huh.
But I think he was the movie was not. Something was nominated.
Australia. It was an okay movie.
I don't think it was nominated because I remember there was a joke.
It was definitely Oscar bait.
Yes, but he hosted the Oscars that year, and he was like, he made a joke about if you get a movie about Australia with a couple of Australians in it and you call it Australia, like, it doesn't get nominated for shit, even though it's like as real as it can be. But if you make something fake where people put on accents and shit, then they like get the Academy Awards.
He's not totally wrong.
Because it starred him and what's her name? She was in Batman Forever.
Oh,
Nicole Kidman,
yep.
who's also Australian.
And they were allowed to be Australian.
They're finally allowed to. That's the thing. We haven't mentioned it, but yeah, that's the running joke. Is that like they're never allowed to be Australian? Like in so many movies, he has to put on a different accent, either American or British.
And it's the same thing I feel like with a lot of Irish actors too. They're not allowed to be Irish.
If you're Irish, Welsh, Scottish, Australian,
It's like, unless the movie specifically calls for it, you're going to be British.
You're British or American. Pick one.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. South African. What other? New Zealand.
Unless the movie specifically calls for it. If you're South African, guess what? You're British. Accent, close enough.
Yeah.
Like,
Blake from Blake's Takes is saying we skip Prisoners. Did you watch that one? I didn't see it.
I've seen it. It's fine.
Okay. Well,
it's fine.
Another arguing about it. Rashad, did you watch the movie or the episode? He said he's back now. Didn't he leave to watch the episode?
No, that was Brad. Sab.
Oh, that was Sabdrab. Yeah, my bad. He left because of some cats were doing something.
Yes, he was wrangling kittens.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Anyway, that's his filmography. Throughout, he's also done a bunch of Broadway stuff. He's been in and out of Broadway, obviously. In November 20, some interesting facts here though. In November of 2013, Jackman announced that he had basal cell carcinoma removed from his nose. He has skin cancer. He had more removed in 2014, saying that he expected to have future recurrences. This resulted in Hugh Jackman attending the various worldwide premieres of X-Men Days of Future Past with a bandage on his nose and urging his followers on Instagram to wear sunscreen.
I think that's why he's a lot of his stuff he's wearing long sleeves now too.
Yeah. In April 2023, Jackman shared in social media update that his biopsy results have all returned negative. He had tests taken as a precaution, and his doctors observed symptoms which, according to the doctor, could or could not be carcinoma.
Great. It could be or it could not be. Yeah.
He has undergone multiple procedures to remove skin cancer and continues to stress the significance of wearing high SPF sunscreen regardless of the season.
Hey, if you're going to be an advocate for something, it's something that's good.
Okay.
Like, protect yourself.
El Gato. Oh, like
He's
cat
talking
in
about
Spanish,
cats, not the
the
company.
brand.
Yeah,
that makes Stream Deck and some other things.
Yeah.
We're making grilled hams and cheeses. Cosmic Firefox has gifted a sub.
To
Rashad.
Oh, he's got the
RL Skill.
the little sub icon.
Yeah, he gets
Hell yeah.
your new guy. Anyway. Yeah, man, sunscreen's important. And you know what? Like, obviously skin cancer is bad. It's nice that he is advocating for taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
He also has a non-profit coffee brand called The Laughing Man.
Cool.
And it's all profits are donated to a foundation. He just seems like an overall very nice man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of anything bad about this guy.
Yeah. No, this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
He's a big super keep. We kind of put him off for a while because we wanted to save him for this movie.
Yeah.
So here he is. The
Jackman.
one and only Hugh Jackman. Keep for me.
Keep for me.
Let's move on.
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to stop and restart. That way I have a nice point where I can see.
Oh, cool.
Because I'm smart.
Wow, look at you.
I know. Are you good or do you want to keep going? Do you need a break?
I could take a quick break so I can slam my coffee.
Ooh. Yeah, we're approaching
slam my
the
coffee,
time that
do my Duolingo.
Oh, true.
And pour myself some mead.
Is that what that is, mead?
Yeah. That
Okay.
bottle?
Yeah.
It's Viking's blood.
Cool. Okay, guys, we'll be right back. Hey, sorry, we're back.
Whoa.
We were.
We've actually been back for a while.
Yeah, we sat down. I was like, oh, we have 2 minutes left. Let's just kind of like go on our phones and chill for a minute, and then like too much time passed.
All right.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah. Well, I also wanted a little bit of silence in there, what we never did before. So, fans on and shit. It's just the whole thing.
Get it as the background noise.
Yeah. Welcome to Where's Mephisto? This is your bonus podcast where we watch whatever's currently streaming and ask the burning question on everyone's mind: where the fuck is Mephisto? Birdo.
He's right behind you.
Ah! Damn it. I keep forgetting that like
It's a
quiet podcast. It's one of those. It's like an NPR situation.
Yeah.
And sometimes I come in hot, and then I edit it together with the music. I'm like, this isn't working. I don't know what I was thinking. Oh shit. Anyway, let's find Mephisto. Berto, where are we looking for Mephisto?
We are looking for Mephisto in The Acolyte.
Oh, well, he's right behind you.
Where? That's Sable.
I love that. I just want to paint a picture here. During these ridiculous shenanigans that we're trying to pull, she's just in the background with headphones, like being very normal.
Right. Well, we're the ones being ridiculous.
It's just like not a care in the world. Anyway. No, but for real, where are we looking for Mephisto?
In the Acolyte.
Okay. Oh, you said that part, right?
I did say
I was
that.
in the middle of my shenanigans. So, episode specifically 3, 4, 5.
Yes.
We already did 1 and 2. It's 8 episodes, so we did 1, 2, and then we're gonna do the 3 episodes per episode.
Yeah. So 3, 4, and 5 this time around.
And then the last 3.
Which
Yes.
should be 6, 7, 8.
Right.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8. 5, 6, 7, 8.
5, 6.
6,
7, 8.
I can't count.
I had it right.
I know, but you know what I did? 8 minus 6 is 2, therefore that's 2 episodes, but that's not. It's 3
Oh
episodes.
my god.
Because you count the first one. Anyway, obviously, this is Rain by Leslie Headland, starring Amandla Stenberg. I've checked 10 times to make sure that's not a spelling error.
It's
Her name is
Amandla.
Amandla.
Yeah.
Lee Jun Jae, Charlie Barnett, Daphne Keene, Rebecca Henderson, Carrie-Ann Moss, Manny Jacinto, and Dean Charles Chapman, and Junis Suotamo. Tall European guy. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's get going. Episode 3 is called Destiny, directed by Kogo Nada, who's a South Korean director.
Does he only have one name?
He's one of those,
Or
you
just
know,
one of
who
the-
goes
like-
by one name.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like Cher.
Yeah. All right. So I haven't watched The Acolyte yet, so I'm gonna bounce, guys. All right. See ya.
All right. Bye.
Yeah. Cosmic Firefox. That's who I said that. No, Sabdrap. He hasn't watched any of these episodes. A lot of you are not caught up on this. Anyway, written by Jasmine Flourney and Eileen Shim. 16 years earlier. So this is the flashback episode.
The flashback episode that I knew we were gonna get. I didn't know we were gonna get it this early.
Yeah, I don't know if this
Its
was
placement
the best.
is a little weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it in a second.
Right.
16 years earlier, Osha and May live with an all-female coven of witches on Brendok. Their mother and the coven's leader, Mother Anisea, claims that the twins do not have a father. They were carried by another witch, Mother Coral. So, what do you think of this as a concept?
I think it's fine.
I think
I like seeing the Force used in different ways, and also we already knew it was possible.
Yeah. I see.
And that had to come from somewhere.
Right.
Why not come from like some witches that were like hiding in the galaxy?
I wouldn't even necessarily say that like it comes from these
It
people.
might not even. It just might be something that
They're
learned.
just also tapping into the same thing that
Yeah.
happened to Anakin Skywalker.
Because there are other ways to use the Force
Yeah.
than the Jedi and the Sith use it
Yeah,
for.
it's a large galaxy. Is all I'm saying. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people in it. I think this is super par for the course for any Star Wars thing. You know, you go to a planet, there's weird shit going on, and you should learn to be surprised by it at this point. And every time a Star Wars movie or TV show goes to a new planet, it shows you something more radical than before.
Yeah.
Like Mandalorian, and I mean, this, to be fair, it wasn't a very popular episode, though I thought it was great. Went to a fucking utopia, where
it was a little silly.
It was a direct democracy. Everyone's being super selfish because no one has jobs anymore, and they just want everything to work out the way they want it to work.
The droids do everything.
Because the droids do everything, and they're subservient to them, and they're happy to do it.
It's WALL-E.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. And that was wild, and it was I think it was a fun episode. Anyway, and so to go to another corner of the galaxy where there is a all-female coven of witches, like, that's not out of place at all.
That's also already been a thing.
Yeah, this is not the first time we've seen witches.
Dathomir?
Yeah, exactly. It's not the first time we've seen witches. It's not the first time we've seen an all-woman coven of witches.
Right.
And it's not the first time we've seen, like you said earlier, like, being born from the Force. That's not a new concept either. So it's just this kind of combination of things that already existed. But some people obviously were just very upset by it.
Right. And I guess you could argue maybe the Dathomir witches weren't an all-female coven, but I don't know if the Night Brothers count. Like, the Zabraks that were on the planet.
Yeah.
It seemed like more like they served them, but they weren't, like, a part of the...
I don't think there were a coven of, like, lesbian witches.
No.
Like, the Night Sisters aren't.
No.
They are. But it's like...
Are they lesbians, though?
Well, at least two of them are.
That doesn't mean all of them.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's a good point, actually. But, like, are they any different from... Because this is, again, just to point out that this is not a new concept. Are they any different than Wonder Woman and the Amazonians?
And Themyscira?
And Themyscira?
No.
It's the exact same concept. Like, they have decided to expel men from their society. And this was created in the late 40s,
Right.
And it's heavily implied that many of them are at least bisexual.
Yeah.
Including Wonder Woman herself. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a silly thing to get up in arms about.
Well, a lot of stuff in the show has people up in arms.
Yeah.
It seems every week there's like just more and more negative stuff flooding my newsfeed from stuff I don't even follow. It's just recommended to me.
Right. Well, Twitter will do that nowadays.
Yeah.
It'll radicalize you like you won't believe. Okay, so in the chat, RL Skill is saying that the Zabrak men were pretty much sperm donors. Yeah,
like they weren't
like
shit.
They were like they were like servants. They were like slaves, basically.
Yeah.
Anisea teaches the children that the Force, which she calls the thread, is misused by the Jedi. They undergo a ceremony to be inducted into the Coven, which May is excited for, but Osha is not. Before Osha is inducted, the ceremony is interrupted by 4 Jedi who express concern that the witches are training children. They claim the right to test the twins for their suitability to become Jedi.
So this is also some interesting stuff. Like, why do the Jedi have the right to just test whoever?
Because it's the High Republic. And
what
it's like
gives them the right?
It's exactly. I really like how this, and I think another thing that upsets people is the implication that Jedi are not good.
This has always kind of been a thing,
exactly.
Though.
Yeah,
at least since the prequels.
This is not new at all. Yeah, I would argue since like Return of the Jedi, when both Yoda and Obi-Wan are like, "Hey, here's what you got to do. You got to go kill Darth Vader." And that is your one and only option.
I can tell him, like, no, he's too far gone.
Yeah, he's gone. Don't try it. Go kill him. And that's what you have to do. And this is Yoda and Obi-Wan Kenobi saying it. Mm-hmm. And Luke Skywalker goes, proves everybody wrong,
and
does
takes
the right
his
thing.
Bending away.
Yeah. Actually, we've said a lot. I've never made that connection, but yeah, that's
it's the same thing.
Same thing, because Avatar is basically a remake of Star Wars in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I would argue that it goes further back than that. That as far back as 1983,
okay,
the Jedi have been flawed.
And Obi-Wan was a liar.
Yeah. From the get-go, he's been lying.
Yeah. So
and
okay,
and he justifies it in ways that Luke Skywalker does not agree with. He says, "Well,
it's true from a certain
point of view," and we know that's also part retcon, but like also like Yeah, like you're bending the truth to fit your narrative, to fit your
Like, you didn't tell me he was my father.
Your interests.
You didn't tell me I had a sister.
You let me kiss her. He's like, I didn't do that. That was you.
He's like, hang on.
Hang on. No one told you to make out with your sister. You guys did that.
Oh my god.
Anyway, what were we talking about? The witches?
Witches.
Yeah.
And how people are upset.
Oh,
yeah.
no, the Jedi and how they get to just pick whoever they want. Well, I mean,
also,
and that's the thing. Like, we've always known that the Jedi just go and pick. But the thing is, it's never explicitly been said. Like, the ethics of this have never been explored.
We've also never really seen it happen.
Right. Because even when we learn about it, it's framed differently.
It's framed like, oh, like they saved me and then took me in, or it's like...
Yeah. Or they just say, like, oh, we train Jedi from when they're babies.
Right.
And you're left to just, like, think about, well,
how do you get the children?
Yeah, what are the logistics of that?
Because, like, we see Anakin come... I guess Qui-Gon kind of does it to Anakin.
Well, yeah, but Anakin was too old.
Right.
And he's like 9 or 10.
But we see Qui-Gon, like, basically, like, do the little midichlorian test. Try to... he basically is recruiting him.
Right.
But Qui-Gon sees something special specifically in Anakin, though.
Yeah, but even then, they're like, oh, no, he's too old. He needs to be a fucking baby. Like,
so
that's
we can
when
indoctrinate
you get
him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, there's the implication that the Jedi are, at the very best, fundamentally flawed, is old.
Yeah, yeah.
Is what I'm saying. It's not new at all.
No, and this could apply to pretty much anything that follows any sort of dogmatic practice.
Yeah.
Like
cults, religions.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much.
There's always a duality there.
Yeah. I like specifically how this episode frames it from the other point of view, though, where they're like, it's
the Jedi are like the invaders.
Yeah. To the point where people are upset of who's good and who's bad. The show explicitly says neither, basically, because there's a scene where Anastasia says it's not about good or bad. It's about power and who's allowed to use it.
Right.
Because their issue is not that the witches are bad and the Jedi are good or vice versa. The issue is the Jedi are hoarding the power. And if you, as a being who has access to the Force, because the Force flows through all living things.
Right.
Which is conveniently the Jedi mention that as part of their dogma, but they conveniently also don't allow other people to tap into the Force if they can. They have to be part of the Jedi Order.
They like to be in control.
Right.
No.
So that's kind of fucked.
Yeah. But that being said, the Jedi aren't evil. They are good guys.
They're not even bad.
Right.
But they're flawed.
Yes.
And they're flawed in their dogma. And we'll talk about it also in the next episode when we meet another Jedi who is also fundamentally flawed.
Yes.
For a very long time is he flawed. But I also, another element that I like is that they use the Force slightly differently. Similar to how the Night Sisters, the way they use the Force seems like witchcraft. I mean, they are witches,
it's
but
not quite the same as the Night Sisters magic or Force.
No, right.
Because we don't have the green glowing and all that.
Well,
this is something different.
We do have that little brain takeover move. That was interesting.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And also, they can just reproduce asexually. So that's something, right?
They figured out some way to do it.
Yeah. And that's the other thing is that people were kind of assuming that this is in some way retconning Anakin Skywalker's
All right. It won't retcon Anakin in any way. It doesn't change anything about Anakin. All it shows is that, hey, this is possible in this galaxy.
And other people know.
And other people have done it before.
Right.
Some people might... The argument I can see maybe holding a little bit more credence is it makes Anakin not feel as special. But that's a you problem if you feel that way.
I guess. Yeah. Anakin's not... Yeah. And I mean, he's an analog for Jesus.
Right.
Obviously. But that's not what makes him special. What makes him special is that he's quote unquote the chosen one.
Right.
And May and fucking Osha are not. They're just kind of two girls.
As far as we know so far.
Right, as far as we know. But I don't think this changes anything. I just like obviously we knew it's possible, and now we're just seeing it in practice. That's all.
Yeah.
There is a Legends or Canon or something comic where the idea is explored that it's Palpatine is the one who created Anakin.
It's a canon comic, but it's
like a what
I
if
think
or
it's just
something?
like I think it's Vader like contemplating as like, is this what happened?
Okay.
Like it's in Vader's head. It's
Yeah.
not outright stated.
Right.
So it's like Vader's like, did Palpatine create me?
Yeah. I feel like that's always trying to think. I wouldn't assume that that's what happened if I was him.
'Cause
But
I think in Legends it was Plagueis that made him,
oh, is it? Yeah.
or knew how to do that at least.
Right. Well, that's
Yeah.
kind of an implication too in episode 3. Is like he knows how to like stop death but also create life.
Right. But also, since there's nothing canon to support that Palpatine actually did that, though, it could also just be a bullshit story to bring Anakin over.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it until something is actually shown to us, it can go either way.
Yeah. You know what?
But this is showing us that it is possible to create life
Yeah,
using
yeah.
the Force. So,
I like the idea that you could, you can interpret things different ways, and you
Yeah.
don't have to be like spoon-fed explicitly what's true and what's not.
right.
So
maybe
that's
I like
just-
to think a little bit.
yeah, maybe that's just me and how I consume my media, but and the 4 Jedi are, if you're not paying attention, is the 4 Jedi that we've met. It's Sol,
The ones that Osha was, or
Carrie
not
Ann
Osha,
Moss.
the
Who
ones
did
that-
she play?
the ones
I
that
have
May
all-
was hunting down.
I have all the names here.
Indara.
Master Indara, Torben, who was an apprentice at the time.
Yep.
And Kaunaka.
And Soul.
And Sol. I said Sol. And then I didn't say Sol. So yeah, Sol was there. I think they did a really good job making them all look way younger.
Well, I think they,
without de-aging.
at least in the case of Torben, I think he actually is young.
Well, I think
They put a bunch of prosthetics on his face. To
I
make
think
him look older.
Torben is in the middle, and they made him look young for one scene and old for another scene.
I think the actor's only like 20 something. Yeah. Because he was like a child in Game of Thrones.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anastasia asks the children to fail the tests. May does, but Osha chooses to pass it and tells Anastasia that she wishes to become a Jedi.
They also kind of trick her into passing it.
Yeah, because they're Jedi and they knew that she was lying. I do like that it's the same test that we saw, like you said, Anakin taking
Yeah.
years later, because it's like, yeah, this is the High Republic. This is
Technically, the prequels still take place at like the tail end of the High
that's
Republic.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, this is the same kind of group of people,
Same
right?
era.
Same era of Jedi or whatever,
Yeah.
even though it's 100 years has passed. And we see some differences. We talked about like the cloaks are different colors
Yeah.
and stuff, and
Because the prequels are the end of the High Republic.
right.
Yeah.
Angry that her sister wants to leave her, May locks Osha in her room and burns her diary. The fire spreads, and Sol helps Osha get to safety. They see May seemingly die, and the rest of the coven dead as well. So, this scene, where they walk away and all of the coven are dead, we didn't see how they died.
No, we did not.
I feel like that's the missing piece that's still going to be explored later on.
Also, how the hell did that fire spread so far so quickly?
I mean, in some fairness, we did see it spread slowly, and then it took over, and that's kind of what fire does.
Yeah, it felt very, very
Yeah.
quick though, from just like burning a diary.
I mean, maybe that whole I don't know.
I
I don't know what
think
they're building their buildings out of. Maybe it's all flammable.
maybe it's all made out of
It's all
wicker.
fucking paper over there.
But no, I think there's still more to what happened here than we know,
For sure.
or than that
Yeah.
than what we've been shown so
Yeah.
far.
I also thought that, like, I think May probably assumes that the Jedi, and they may have, killed all those people, all the whole coven.
They might have. We're not sure.
We don't know. You know, it might have been
It could
some
be
of the other
a
fuckers. Because
third party.
what I don't understand thus far is why Torben would be so distraught from the situation that
He
he's
was
quick
willing to
commit suicide.
Right. And
no-
apologize.
Yeah, and he
Because he said we thought we were doing the right thing.
exactly. But
what the hell did they do?
Because what they did was not that bad. They got there. It's bad. They're like, hey, we're
gonna take those children.
We're taking those children. See ya. But also, it's
not bad to that extent.
Yeah, no. But it's not bad for them. They do that every day.
Right.
They go to a village and they say, hey, I want your kid.
Right. Look.
Give him to me.
So something we didn't see happen.
Yeah.
Clearly.
So I'm looking forward to what that could be, because like I said, I just don't feel like they really did anything that bad.
Or maybe some
or out of
conversation
the ordinary.
escalated or something. I don't
know.
Because all of these Jedi, even except for maybe Tor was a little quick to draw his blade, but they're all still very like, I'm not going to draw my blade unless I'm attacked.
Yeah.
Even during like their final battles that we saw.
The Jedi take Osha to Coruscant, and Sol promises to train her as his Padawan. On Brendok, May is shown to have survived and starts looking for Osha. So this episode I thought was fine. I liked the ideas in it. I'm not sure about just putting this in the middle. I don't know, dude.
Well, because we basically watched a 2-parter pilot episode.
Yeah.
And then we immediately go to the flash. I felt like it was a little quick. I wasn't expecting it to be a flashback episode when we got into episode 3. And it kind of slowed the pace of everything.
Yeah, I feel like flashbacks work well at, like, after a big reveal. You do a flashback for like the character you just revealed or the situation you revealed. That works well.
Maybe even honestly, if this episode and episode 5, this came after episode 5
as like a kind of a break, like
a
palate cleanser.
This would have been episode 5. I think that might have been like
maybe
just pacing wise better.
Yeah, because that's the end of like a, I forget what they're called, like a peak.
Yeah,
and you kind of slow down a little bit. Let's see some background. I also wouldn't mind if like they didn't dedicate a full episode to a flashback. And
we just got flashbacks throughout
in parts. Yeah, there was a time when everybody was copying Lost for good reason, because Lost did flashbacks really well, where they would just cut back and forth between the flashback and like the current.
The flashback was like the B plot of the episode.
Exactly. Yeah, and that, I think that works really well.
It works well keeping the pace going.
Yeah. If you've ever seen Once Upon a Time,
I've seen a little bit of it.
It's not that good, but it's from some of the creators, not the good creators. Some the other creators of Lost.
The ones that.
Not Lindelof and J.J. Abrams. It was like the other people. Actually, okay. I think Lindelof might have been slightly involved with I have to look it up, with Once Upon a Time. But Once Upon a Time is the exact same premise. It's like we're doing a B plot, and we're doing these characters like in the real world and then the fantasy world, and it goes back and forth.
Even Arrow did that in its first like 3 seasons. It would flash back to like when Oliver Queen was like on the island for years. So there'd be a whole plot going on in the past, coinciding with what's going on in the present, and it does work like pacing wise.
I'm telling you, it's all Lost. Just like do Lost. You know what I mean? Like they.
Yeah.
Again, there was a time when we accepted this was the way to do it, and we walked away from it. So
yeah, this episode does kind of like put a halt on the pacing of the show. Right as it like took its like first steps too.
Yeah, I had no other issues with it.
I don't think the child acting was great, but I'm also not one to get hung up on that.
Yeah, I've said this before. Like I can't be mad at child actors because it's like I don't know, man. Like they're kids.
I think what makes it stand out though is that like they were kind of carrying the plot of the episode though. So it's like it's more in your face, I guess. But even then, I'm like, they weren't horrible.
By no means. I saw a lot of complaints about the chanting, that it's cringy. I thought it was, I don't know. Dude, like, what do you?
I was like, this just looks like a ritual.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't think it was bad at all.
I didn't think anything of it, good or bad.
Yeah. Obviously, May gets her little tattoo and she becomes like a witch.
Right.
And then Osha doesn't. That's their defining trait.
That's the only trait of theirs that's different.
Actually, you know what? You are right. This would have worked better after episode 5 because then you get the tattoo thing.
You would know you would know what the hell that means.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then at the end of episode 5 they switch places.
Yeah.
So, yep. Yeah, that would be smart. I saw some people, and again, a lot of like the critics not real critics, the people criticizing, are just grasping at straws. When it comes to a lot of this, so like I've heard complaints that like it looks cheap and the sets are blah blah blah. I didn't really get all that.
I think the sets look great. Honestly,
think they look good. Yeah, I had no.
That was one of the things I was thinking specifically in episode 4. I'm like, it looks. I don't know if they're actually on like location for this, but it looks like they're on location.
It doesn't look very volumey, does it? No, it looks good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this episode was also. I mean, I don't know. Like, it is kind of set in the corner of like their world, but like at the same time, like I was perfectly fine with it. And in other episodes, I've never got that vibe that they're like in a volume. Now whether or not they shot any of it in a volume, like you can't tell.
It looks like they're actually outside.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of like all the complaints, and it's like it just seems like it's just people mad.
Yeah.
Because it's like a couple of things. I'm like, yeah, okay, but it's not a big deal.
No, they definitely have an agenda. Like, because I'm sorry, like episode 5, when we get to it, it's a fucking banger. Like,
people are still shitting on it.
And some people, and they're grasping real hard though. Like the haircut. Or like, and I'm just like,
or the one I'm seeing a lot is it's breaking canon, and then they give zero explanation.
Breaking what canon? What canon?
It's like, well, the show is canon, so
wait, whatever it does is canon now. So dude. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah.
Episode 4, Day, directed by Alex Garcia Lopez, written by Claire Kishel and Kor Adana. May and Kamir. I always forget that's his name. Kamir.
I think it's pronounced Chimere.
Oh, is it?
Because I heard the actor say the name, and he said Chimere.
Okay, cool. May and Chimere begin searching for Kanaka on Kofar, where he has isolated himself in a forest. Soul discusses May with several Jedi Masters who believe her master must be a fallen Jedi. They send him and Osha to apprehend May with a group of Jedi, including Yord and Jeki. I do like there's a scene here where Soul points out, I need to take Osha with me. It needs to be me. Don't send anybody else. Because if you send anybody else, they'll kill her, and then we lose our one shot at getting the master.
It's like,
I like how he's thinking like a FBI.
He is being logical, but I also see how the other Jedi, like, you're too close to this though.
Yeah, they both have points. It's a good point. But he wants to both use Osha, but also help Osha.
He wants to protect her. He wants to help her, but also he kind of needs to use her as bait.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like all those ideas a lot.
And Osha was trying to leave.
Yeah. No, she was over. Yeah. She was trying to escape.
Mm-hmm.
On Kofar, they used the Tynan?
I don't remember.
This is more like Wikipedia shit where, like, I mean, obviously, like, this is canon. It's just that, like, they come up with a species name. It's never mentioned.
Right.
They just mentioned it's like a tiny little, like, beaver-looking guy.
It's the you have a new Star Wars thing. You have to introduce a new creature.
Yeah.
It's that.
Right. New ship, new creature, new force power. Always.
Yeah. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah. Tracker Basil to begin searching for Kanaka by following his scent. Osha's connection to the Force begins to grow again, and she connects with a large bug in the forest, which attacks them and is killed by Soul. I love how this bug doesn't have a fucking name, even though it's more important to the plot than Basil is.
I think Basil might still be important.
Did you see the meme I sent where they're like, the key is Basil? He's the key to all of this. He's a funny little guy.
He is.
I love
him. Like the cute little critter that they introduced, like Babu Frick in Rise of Skywalker.
I love a funny little guy. Babu Frick was like the best thing that came from Rise of Skywalker.
Yep.
So,
is there any significance to May accidentally like angering the bug, you think? Or do you think the bug was just aggressive from the get-go?
May? When is
Not
she?
May, Osha.
Osha?
Yeah.
No, I think the significance is that she's reconnecting to the Force.
But she's still not like good at it.
She had broken her connection.
Right.
Because remember in episode 1, she tries reaching for the lightsaber and it won't.
She's not able to do it.
It wasn't a lightsaber. It was a key.
Yeah,
and she can't do it.
Yeah.
And that was also your signal to realize that she's not May, and that these are two different characters.
Yes, because May seemed very proficient with using the Force.
Yeah.
Also, that is a plot point in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Oh, really?
The character you play as, they cut themselves off from the Force. And it was kind of like their way of being like, oh, when you level up, like you get more powerful, you're connecting with the Force more.
Yeah.
It was like their answer to the game mechanic, but it does work in the plot too.
Was that before Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
This was in like 2005.
Oh, okay,
2004. 2004.
Because I always felt like your connection to the Force and you either connecting more or less to it was a concept introduced in Last Jedi, when Luke Skywalker all right, maybe even Force Awakens, where he just kind of like cut himself off.
It was definitely done in Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Oh, wow.
And it's even a mystery in that game too. It's like, well, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Which it does get answered in that game too. So
RL Skill in the chat is also saying Torben was sad about his hairline. I would be too.
That was an awful hairline.
Yeah, just kill me too.
Or just shave it all off.
I would take the poison.
Oh my god.
Anyway, you don't understand. I was just at a conference with a bunch of people my age or older.
Were they
and
balding?
50% was bald.
Oh man, they should get keeps.
And I was just like, I'm just so thankful that like I have hair. I have a full head of hair. And he also says it's just having the bugs in our minds for when she uses them in episode 5. Chekhov's bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also like,
that's actually probably the actual reason.
Well, it's again, it's two birds with one stone, because it's a plot mechanic, sure, but it's also used to.
It's showing, hey, this Force is dangerous. These bugs are here.
Well, her connection to the Force. Now she's connecting.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's hanging out with Jedi, so it's rubbing off on her, right?
Yeah.
And then you see like the bugs attracted to light, yada yada. May begins to feel that her mission to kill a Jedi without a weapon is impossible and no longer relevant to her now that she knows that Osha is alive. She captures Chimere in a trap and rushes to turn herself into Konaka, planning to reconnect with Osha and tell the Jedi what she knows about her master. However, she finds Konaka has been killed by someone using a lightsaber.
Did you notice how like Chimere's voice, his tone changed?
No.
When she said oh, like, this doesn't matter anymore, I'm gonna go get Osha. And she, like, after she traps him and says what she's gonna do, he gets really dark and he goes, he'll kill you.
Oh. I don't know if I picked up on that.
I
was convinced. Yeah, go on.
We know what happens, but
yeah, obviously, like, spoilers for the next episode, he's the bad guy,
right?
And like we knew that, but also it was so obvious that we were kind of expecting it to be a red herring.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad it's not, by the way.
It was so obvious that it wasn't obvious.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
But I like that he's doing a Yoda, right? Like he's playing the silly character.
He's playing the fool.
Yeah, exactly. To kind of get in your head,
mm-hmm.
see, get your full perspective. And she falls for it because she talks about her plan to like defect, basically.
Yeah.
And turn herself in, and it's like, I like that
she just confessed to him.
Yeah, and I really like that we get her confession because, Soul was telling Osha that like there's still good in her, and that she could be saved.
Right.
It's a very much a Luke Skywalker perspective. Like
yeah.
I can save this person. And the Force is always good, and anyone's not without saving, and blah blah blah. And then we get to see it from May's point of view, where she's like, no, like, I think now that I know Osha's alive, like, fuck this. Like, I think maybe, and you know what? She's not that far in. Like, she killed one person, sure, but like the other one
into killing himself.
I get. It seemed like he was pretty much already out of it, wasn't he? Like he was gonna like just sit there quietly.
He was like immediately like, "Yeah, I'm doing it."
Yeah, he didn't take a lot, is what I'm saying. You know?
No, he just goes, "Is that poison? Cool."
Yeah, it seemed like he kind of pushed himself off the cliff, you know. But like, and Konaka obviously wasn't her either, so it's just like
right.
But I was super surprised, and like the thing about this show is that like, say what you will, whether you like it or not, like it has surprises, and it lulls me into like a very basic kind of pacing where I'm like, okay, we're just talking to this character, we're talking to this character, we're talking to this character, and then it's like, boom, giant surprise.
You know what else does that? Game of Thrones.
Okay, well, I don't know. But each time I find myself just kind of getting cozy in my seat and then immediately just going to the edge. Because I'm like, oh, shit. Because in little things like Kanaka, like you hear a Wookiee.
You saw him
Jedi.
making dinner like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, you're expecting to see something from this character. Similar to kind of like Carrie-Anne Moss's characters. Like, you're expecting more out of them, and it's like, oh, no, dead. Your expectations have been subverted successfully.
Yeah.
Without being annoying. You know? I love that. I love how surprised. And in the end, this is a murder mystery. You should be surprised all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's holding up to the genre successfully in that sense.
It's very Ryan Johnson.
It kind of is, yeah, actually.
Maybe that's why people hate it.
Maybe. But like on the murder mystery, not on like the Last Jedi side,
no,
which I think is a fine movie. I'm talking more about
just subversion of expectations in general.
The murder mystery side too,
Yeah.
where like you're expecting it to go one way and it doesn't, and I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the chat, RL Skill is saying, she ain't hanging with Jackie no more. Yeah. Also, side story: dog went to vet. Turns out his sister got him contact high. That's super bad. You shouldn't. You know, it's like one thing to. You know, if you're doing recreational drugs, that's fine. But like, you're a human and you can accept a dosage that animals can't. So you're putting them in harm's way. So that's really bad. I'm sorry about that, man. Yoda's a great comparison. Thank you. Yeah, he is doing a Yoda. I can't believe they tease us with a Wookiee Jedi and yeah.
I think we'll
That's
still
the
see
point.
some action with it. I
think we'll see
feel
a
like there's
flashback?
still another flashback on the way.
Well, there is, but
Yeah.
but that's kind of the point. Is like what you're expecting, you don't get, and that's surprising. That I think that's overall good. Hopefully they give us something.
What if? Hang on, theory.
Okay.
What if the Jedi did kill everybody, but because one of the witches was controlling them to do it?
So yeah, my theory actually was that like that other witch that is kind of mean, the other mom,
the Zabrak.
Yeah,
she was Zabrak, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
My theory was that she is responsible in some way for everybody dying, and so it's like it kind of like gets the Jedi off the hook a little bit, but also like May assumes it's the Jedi that killed all those.
Right. I could see something like that
sisters.
happening.
Yeah. We'll see. Yeah, no, and then, so I was surprised by, to recap, surprised by May wanting to turn. I thought that was cool. And then the irony that Kanaka is dead and now she is framed.
It looks like she killed him.
Yeah. Because then all the Jedi show up.
Yeah.
The others soon arrive and surround May, ordering her to surrender. Before she can do anything, her master appears behind them. The figure activates a red lightsaber and uses the Force to attack Osha and the Jedi. What a cliffhanger.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was... Whew. It was a very good ending.
I agree.
The episode overall was pretty slow, but, like, again, that's not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing because the next episode is, like, so high octane that I understand why.
Well, the next episode is basically the climax of whatever the hell that was. Yeah.
And also, like, this episode does a lot of important things to set up characters. And if... I love episode 5. I think it was incredible. If every episode went that hard, then this show wouldn't have any character development. You know what I mean?
It would just be like...
It would just be lightsaber fights.
You're right.
Which is cool to look at.
There's a place for that,
Yeah.
but like...
But you know, you need to have the character development, and I think this...
We need to care about the people fighting.
This episode does a great job at setting up a lot of those threads. You know, you get time with Sol, you get time with Yord, you get time with...
Jackie...
Osha and Jackie and May and Chimere, yeah. And I like how Chimere is kind of like quizzing her a little bit because he still has his ulterior motives as also like the bad guy. Which, by the way, his name is technically the Stranger.
Yeah, thanks to Hasbro.
Oh, is that what it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I guess his helmet is coming out as something you can buy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get it.
It's pretty dope. Actually.
It's a pretty cool looking helmet.
People are calling him Darth Teeth.
I can see that.
And our friend Chris has dubbed him Donnie Dartho.
Donnie Dartho.
Because fun fact, apparently the design of the mask is loosely based on the Donnie Darko mask.
The
rabbit.
Frank the bunny, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess Hasbro released like the pre-orders for it, and it's called the
Mm.
Stranger's helmet.
Yeah.
So
It feels like they're trying to make the child happen again. Remember that?
yeah,
For when people were calling him Baby Yoda, and they're like, no,
Well,
it's
no.
a child. It's like you're 2 steps behind on this. Like it's too late. It's like it's spread
They're
like
trying to get
wildfire.
ahead of it here.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone knows that as Baby Yoda, and then the next season they named him Grogu.
yup.
Anyway, yeah, good episode. Like you said, it's and I also think the pacing thing, it's paced specifically to give you that big surprise at the end.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Episode 5. Let me take a quick break.
Okay.
Stretch my legs.
a second ago. I think you made her sad.
Hello, we're back.
Hello.
Okay, episode 5, Night. So, remember how like the first few episodes had like 2 titles?
Yeah.
For like so this is Day and Night, but they're 2 different episodes.
Mm-hmm. But they stopped doing like the slash.
Yeah. Directed by Alex Garcia Lopez, written by Cora Adana and Cameron Squires.
And what an episode this is.
Ooh. OSHA witnesses the mysterious warrior, aka the stranger, kill all the Jedi except for Yord, Jeki, and Sol. Sol saves OSHA from the warrior and demands he reveal his identity. The warrior claims that they have already met before vanishing.
So some of these kills are a little brutal.
There's so many things I love about this episode. I love that you start it, and it's from, I think it's like Jeki's point of view. Whose point of view is it? May's?
Is it
OSHA's?
OSHA? Because OSHA got like launched.
Yeah. She arrives and like there's nobody there.
Yeah.
And then like just off in the back is where the fighting's happening. But you come in and
there's
the fighting's
already like a
begun.
couple of dead Jedi.
Yeah. Like the fighting's already started. You're kind of like jumping in halfway, which is so Star Wars, and like they're already like in the middle of the fight. So you skipped all the pleasantries, and I kind of really love that. And at first I was like, oh, that would really suck if like they didn't actually show
like this
anything.
is the end of the fight and it's just in the background. Yeah.
I'd be really pissed. But no, there is plenty of action in this episode.
Oh, the part where he stabs one Jedi, pulls the other Jedi onto the saber
With the Force, that was crazy.
and then cuts their heads off.
Oh, that's the other thing too. This episode's fucking brutal.
Yes.
This might be some of like the most R-rated Star Wars,
at least on screen.
Yeah, that we've seen. Yeah. It's dark.
Mm-hmm.
And
we get that one part in the Last Jedi where
Yord.
Kylo Ren like stabs the guy through the head.
Yeah, but that's not as bad as what happens to Yord in this episode.
Oh man. Or Jeki.
Yeah, but Yord especially.
Oh, you. He was gonna have his hero moment too.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh. Fuck.
So another thing that was kind of introduced here was his helmet, and I think
his
he has like
wrist
some
guards,
gauntlets or something.
Yeah.
That like when he first of all he can block lightsabers with them, and second of all they kind of like stop lightsabers from working temporarily.
It like shorts them out.
Yeah. So those are made out of
cortosis.
Yeah. Have you heard of this before?
I have, because I was first introduced to it in. This is another episode 1 tie-in game. It was on the Xbox. It was called Star Wars Obi-Wan.
I forgot how Twitch works. How do I?
You're on Twitch?
I'm an idiot.
Oh, hang on. We gotta help Sable real quick.
Are you on our stream?
Yeah, I'm on your stream, but I don't know how to
Oh, you have to watch the ad.
I think the ad has to end.
No, but I just clicked on a few others and the same thing's happening. Where
You have to
it's
expand the chat. Also,
is that what it is?
Also, we
Yeah,
have an
there you are.
Uncrustables ad going on.
Yeah.
Nice. I like
We're getting-
Uncrustables.
we're getting money from that.
Chat.
Hell yeah.
We're getting Uncrustables money, you guys.
This episode is sponsored by Uncrustables.
Oh, Sable's here.
Oh,
She's been lurking in real life.
oh, welcome back,
actually.
Philly.
IRL.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's right there.
Like literally lurking behind the scenes. Okay, so an Xbox tie-in game.
Yes, it's called Star Wars Obi-Wan,
Okay.
and it takes place right before Episode 1, and it kind of goes through the Episode 1 events also.
So he's still a Padawan?
Yeah,
Oh.
but there are enemies that you fight, and they have cortosis armor.
Okay.
They specifically mentioned that it's cortosis. It's like, oh, it's lightsaber resistant.
Ooh.
So that was the first time I was like, whoa, there's something a lightsaber can't cut through.
So this is old then. This is not a new thing.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure this was a thing even before that game. That game probably pulled from
Oh.
like the expanded universe.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That's so cool. Cortosis was a metal that had a very high energy absorption rate and transmission coefficients, which allowed even the energy of a blaster to be... Sorry, the text is like really thin. Blaster bolt to be dissipated upon contact. One of the strongest minerals in the galaxy, cortosis could even withstand the blow of a lightsaber and briefly short out its blade. It could also redirect the heat of the explosions, as discovered by General Anakin Skywalker. As discovered when General Anakin Skywalker attempted to collapse the entrance of a cortosis mine and the resulting explosion breached through the how do you say that place?
Mokivs. I don't know. That's a planet.
Crust. No, Sable already abandoned us.
Yeah, she's already in a different.
Blake asked if you're watching.
channel.
I look over at.
Well, I can't, it's echoey because I hear what you're saying and I hear it again.
Okay.
Can't do that.
You could just mute it.
Yeah. That way you could still chat with everybody, like your friend
Yeah.
Blake, your friend Philly.
She doesn't give a shit about Star Wars. Yeah, he's asking about you.
I forgot
Okay.
I made emotes. I'm gonna send some.
Okay.
You made emotes for us?
No, for herself.
Damn it.
They're on her channel. Anyway,
But yeah, cortosis.
cool. Jackie captures man. You know, I'm just surprised that they hadn't used it earlier. Then
I am
if
too.
it's such an interesting thing against
The thing is,
lightsabers.
as soon as I saw it short out the lightsabers, like I was like, "Oh my god, is that cortosis?"
God, you're such a nerd.
I thought that's what when I first saw Beskar, I thought that's what that was. I was like, "Oh, is that cortosis?" I'm like, "No, that's not."
Yeah.
So it's always been in the back of my mind.
Yeah, it's just another lightsaber resistant metal.
Yeah.
Jackie captures May, but the mysterious warrior arrives to kill May for trying to betray him. Jackie breaks the warrior's mask before she is killed, revealing him to be Chimere.
With 3 stabs.
That scene was so fucking brutal. Also, she was
doing some badass fighting
she's
too.
Badass.
Yeah.
Obviously some people were quick to criticize that, like, she's a Padawan, she was training, but it's like, yeah, like Obi-Wan.
That's why she died.
Yeah. First of all, she didn't succeed. Number one, she lasted a little bit longer, and she was very talented.
Right.
But Obi-Wan killed Darth Maul, and he was a Padawan. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Sometimes you're just better, or you get the drop on somebody.
And Darth Maul, who was an apprentice, killed Qui-Gon, who was a Jedi Master.
That's also true. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, your title doesn't mean shit. Well, it does, but it doesn't.
Sol arrives and questions Chimere, who says the Jedi might call him Sith. He intends to leave, but he has no name. He intends to leave no witnesses to keep his existence secret. Yord ambushes Chimere, but is quickly killed.
And Yord comes in hot too.
I don't remember. I have to watch this again.
He kind of jumps in.
There's so much action going on.
Yeah, but he's kind of smart. At first, Yord's kind of smart about how he fights because he knows that the saber is going to get like deactivated. So he starts like hitting him with the hilt and stuff.
Oh, I need to rewatch this.
But yeah, it doesn't work.
God, yeah. He dies the worst death. He gets his neck snapped. Like, just chop his head off at that point with a lightsaber. Like, it's so less brutal.
I don't know. What do you think's more brutal, getting your neck snapped or getting like stabbed 3 times in quick succession?
The neck snapped, I think.
Because Jackie got stabbed like through the heart, through something else,
Both
and then
lungs.
straight through the spine.
Yeah.
It might be both lungs and in the spine. Yeah. Like, he was so quick too. Maybe that was their way of saying like, oh yeah, she's not going to survive getting stabbed like Sabine did.
Yeah. His reveal was just masterful. I liked. So he's not a Sith, according to him.
Right.
According to this one exchange, what he's saying is, you may mistake me for one, because that's.
But I don't have a name.
Yeah, but that's how you Jedi think. Basically, is that I think what he's also kind of saying.
Any dark side Force user is a Sith.
Yeah. I think also what he's trying to get to is that, like, the Jedi are so dogmatic that they are projecting their dogma onto another group of people, which is like the Sith. And this guy's just like, I'm just a dude. I'm just so powerful that I just want to be powerful. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's
he
not
says
Sith.
that as his motivations. Like, I want you to let me do my thing. But as long as the Jedi Order's around, they're not going to do that.
And he wants an acolyte.
Right, which is why he was eyeing May.
Yeah. But fuck her, right? So, is being a Jedi classism?
Kind of.
Probably, yeah. Like 100%.
Yeah. They're not bad guys, but they are dicks.
Yeah.
Also, Manny Jacinto
Mhm.
is so good as a bad guy.
Yeah, this is a great performance. His other roles, and I forget what else he's
like
in.
he's kind of scary.
He's just kind of the goofy guy.
In A Good Place.
Oh, is it A Good Place?
I think.
Yeah.
Or The Good Place.
Yeah, and so in this, he's also obviously starts off as just kind of like the goofball.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's just a persona, but he does a really good job of switching. He's he's a good actor.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Yeah.
And I do think as a villain so far, I'm like, oh, he's up there.
Yeah. There was some scenes in this where I felt like it was the first time I had seen lightsaber action treated like a samurai fight, where
Oh, when him and Soul were
they
were doing like the foot thing, and
not only that, but like they're turning their lightsabers off every now and then to like have conversation, and then they go back to fighting.
Yeah.
And I felt like that felt like a samurai movie to me, whereas like other times,
well, it also made it feel a little bit like, because this is what Lucas intended at the time, the old, like the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Because there was a lot, they didn't necessarily turn their lightsabers off, but they would stop and talk.
Yeah.
Specifically the Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fight.
Well, yeah, I was going to mention that, but because they kept their lightsabers on, it just kind of felt like they're kind of killing for time or whatever. But like in this, like they turn their lightsabers off and they have like full-blown conversations and then start fighting again. Mm-hmm. And there's something just kind of like almost ceremonial about that I quite appreciated. Blake and someone else, they're all talking about how yoked and beefed up he is. Yeah, he's
actually, he is pretty beefed up.
I like that his costumes are just like, but no sleeves though, because I gotta look super hot.
I worked out for this role, so I gotta show it.
So how about we do like the Darth Maul / like Kylo Ren look, but like
it's almost
no
like
sleeves.
It looks very similar to how Starkiller looks in the Dark Side ending of The Force Unleashed, where he kind of becomes like Darth Vader's actual secret apprentice, and it's the non-canon ending, and then there's like DLC that takes off after that, where you go and you kill Obi-Wan, you go and kill Luke.
Yeah. It's also like the Luke Skywalker in that toy line from like the 90s, that comic book line. What was it called?
Oh,
we've talked about this like 10 times, and I always forget the name. It's like Dark Forces or something, or Dark
something. Is it the one where Luke actually like goes
like
dark side?
It's like a what if.
Yeah.
And Luke goes to the dark side. Yeah.
Dark. It is dark something.
Yeah.
Dark Empire.
Yes.
Yes.
But it's kind of a similar concept where like or the costume for him, it's like big robes but like tight sleeves. You know. And in this case, it's no sleeves. But Kylo Ren's costume is basically based off that. Like Kylo Ren's costume is the Dark Forces, Dark Empire, Luke Skywalker costume.
Kind of, yeah.
Like that's kind of where the inspiration came from, at least in my opinion. I don't know.
Right.
But,
nobody compared Darth Maul to anyone, Philly. He said it was a cross with Darth Maul and Kylo Ren.
Yeah, just because
he didn't say Darth Maul is like Kylo Ren.
No, because like he's black and roby. You know, the robes are black and cool looking. Anyway, I got a quote here. I made them too small.
Oh, from like the.
So this is from Leslie Headland on the identity of the stranger.
We knew it was gonna be Chimera,
right? But what she's saying is it was the body count that she wanted to surprise people with, not the actual identity of the stranger.
They definitely surprised people with that.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're surprised with not
even
the
all
things...
the memes with the end of the last episode, like, like the main characters are gonna be fine. All these Jedi are red shirts.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? All of the Jedi were red shirts.
Yeah. Actually, we're all wrong. So I think what I really enjoyed about this is that if like the villain, like the secret identity is the character who fits the bill the best from the story's point of view.
Right.
If it had been a surprise and Chimera was a red herring, then you get a character who wouldn't be as good.
You also have to do a lot more explaining.
But you just have the surprise, and I kind of hate that where it's like, it is it's the bad kind of
surprise.
Subversion.
It's
a random character. You know, and you're like, but that's not as good.
It's
like
the green lady from the Jedi.
Yeah. Like you set up. Yeah, no. And that's what I thought it was gonna be because I was.
It's Chiari-Mundi. Oh, we forgot to talk about Chiari in the last episode.
Oh fuck. Just give me. All right, we'll get
Put
there.
a pin in it.
Yeah, put a pin in that. So, you're supposed to be surprised, but at the same time, like, if you put in the work to make this one character the perfect character for that reveal, then that should work out. Yeah. And I hate when you get a red herring situation where like that character or that outcome would be better, but then it's like for the sake of the surprise, we're going to switch it up to something that makes less sense. I can't think of a specific example though.
Not off the top of my head, but I know I've like seen it before where I was like, oh, like that was a secret.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so she says this, she anticipated many would figure out the Chimere stranger connection before the unmasking and was totally cool with that because she wasn't trying to fool anyone in the first place.
Oh, that's why I called it on like the first time we saw him. Like he's the bad guy.
Yeah. Intentionally leaving breadcrumbs along the way. I think a good twist is not about hiding everything from the audience and then throwing it on them like, hey, this is what you didn't see. We hit it so well that you didn't see this, says Headland. I think a good twist is telegraphing what's going to happen, and then once it does, executing it without an ounce of pity or sentimentality.
Which is why she had no problem killing main characters.
I agree.
Yeah.
I thought it was a very wise way to go about that. That is really good.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a break from this episode to talk about Chiari-Mundi?
Yeah, let's talk about Chiari-Mundi.
Because he's in the last episode.
Yes.
For a very brief moment.
And people were very upset about this.
Because his age was at one point shown on canon Wikipedia. Which, by the way, Wikipedia is not canon. It's just trying its best to say what is canon.
And it, for the most part, does a very good job of that.
Yeah, it's a wiki site, so it's like user created.
Right. But also apparently Wikipedia editors were getting death threats for changing his age.
Insane. Fucking insane. And now
but his age is canon now. So not even his exact age, just like he was born approximately in this time.
Yeah, like he's a young Jedi here.
Right.
And then 100 years later, he's an old Jedi. Who gives a shit? And also, and I know,
the source of his age came from...
Oh, yeah.
A bonus disc?
CD-ROM.
Oh, bonus CD-ROM.
Which means if you had this now, you probably couldn't play it. I could probably play in a computer DVD player.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh, no, if you have one of those. Like, I have one, but most computers don't nowadays.
Yeah.
A disc drive?
But yeah, it was a CD-ROM. I don't even think it came with the movie. It came with like something. It was...
No, actually, you wouldn't be able to play it because you would need Windows 98. Because I saw someone on TikTok who did this, and they're like, I had to create a virtual machine to run Windows 98 to run the CD-ROM.
And it's just various like facts.
Yeah.
That aren't even facts. Like 99% of what was on that CD-ROM wasn't even canon anymore.
It wasn't even canon at the time. They're just making guesses.
Yeah.
And other things in there that like didn't hold up to be true were lightsaber colors.
It said Mace Windu's lightsaber was blue.
Yeah, obviously because at the time none of that was established until years later when Attack of the Clones comes out and they're it's stupid. It's fucking stupid.
It's stupid, and also like if that was the source of his age, it was like. Come on.
It was also already bad because I know aliens are gonna age at different rates or whatever, but like Chiari-Mundi is supposed to be 63 according to that CD-ROM.
That motherfucker looks 80.
He looks like a gajillion, dude. He looks ancient. What are you talking about? Like what? Like ignore the third brain that he grew. Like he doesn't look young. I totally believe that he's over 100 years old.
I believe it too.
Yeah. Hey, you tell me Yoda's 900? This bitch is 63? What? No way, bro. You telling me he has like 5 years up on fucking Qui-Gon Jinn? No.
There's no fucking.
It doesn't fucking make any
way
sense.
Way older than Qui-Gon Jinn. Yeah.
Like literally, Qui-Gon would be in his like 50s.
Maybe late 40s.
No, it's bullshit.
Yeah, no,
that was so stupid.
And people are like, "Oh, they retconned it." You can't retcon something that was never canon to begin with.
Yeah, dude. Like again, this is fucking CD-ROM, and then like apparently it was something else was on like a trading card. That's not canon. Trading cards are not canon. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah. And also, I want to add that when I first saw this and I saw Kiadi-Mundi, my first thought was that it wasn't him. I'm like, oh, it's just another one of his species.
Yeah, but isn't he unique because of the brains?
I don't know.
That's not like a species thing. Like that's a him thing, I think.
I don't know.
Also in that same
I also
scene,
didn't read up on Kiadi-Mundi because who the fuck actually cares about Kiadi-Mundi?
he's not like Plo Koon is way better.
Yes.
And also there's a Plo Koon type.
Plo Koon.
Sorry. Some Plo Koon type in the background.
Yes.
Yeah.
That the species is Keldor.
Yeah, and she dies.
She dies.
Pretty quickly. Anyway.
So does Plo Koon.
So like Kiadi-Mundi, Mundi, whatever.
I think it's Mundi.
No, I've heard him both ways.
Yeah.
He's also in, if you go back, like, he's famously wrong about a lot of things.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a couple important lines.
Apparently he's
He
also
says,
like a jackass too.
yeah, he doesn't seem that great. He says that, like, the Sith have not been around for 1,000 years.
That's the line everyone's holding on to.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
He also says, which also, that obviously they know that line exists. Like,
Right.
I think the thinking for these people is that, like, oh, they're not even paying attention. Like, I know more than them. You don't. These people are, like, they can watch 6 movies as like research.
Right.
They can do it in an afternoon, and they spend months, if not years, writing these scripts. So, like, calm the fuck down. There's a team of people on this shit
Right.
who are dedicated to this.
Yeah.
You know? They have professional nerds who are way better than you. Anyway, he says, like, oh, your thoughts dwell on your mother. And then, like,
I miss her.
a little bit later, he, what else?
What about the droid attack on the Wookiees?
Oh, yeah. Like, he's just there to deliver a line.
Yeah.
That's it.
Who cares about him?
And I would be so happy
I'm sure there are people that are like,
if he's
his
in on a
biggest fan,
cover
but
up. You know what I mean?
I would believe it.
Because I'm like, yeah, let's throw one of these Jedi, under the bus real quick. Like, they're not all great, right? Like, some of them have to be in on a cover up.
Because we know Plo Koon was a good Jedi. We saw that throughout Clone Wars.
Right.
He was one of the good ones.
But again, I think Clone Wars goes way out of its way to, like, explore the, like, ethical gray areas in a lot of these Jedi.
Remember Pong Krell?
Pong Krell is the main one I'm thinking about, who, like, wants to join the dark side because he just wants to be on the winning side, basically. He's thinking about himself.
Yep.
And it's...
And this is somebody that was raised by the Order.
Right.
Yeah.
And that selfishness tapped into the dark side.
Yep.
Maybe
Also, he saw
unintentionally,
clones as totally expendable.
Oh, right, exactly. He has no sympathy.
Yeah.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Kiadi-Mundi?
Kiadi-Mundi, jackass.
I wouldn't be surprised if, like, let's say by the end of this, they're just in deep denial that he was a Sith, whether he is or isn't.
And that could be possible too.
I would believe that it's kind of like Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
He's
where,
back.
Like, he's like, and everyone's just in deep denial about it, that, like, Voldemort's back. And they don't, that whole book and movie is about, like, beseeching, or it's about sullying the name of Dumbledore and Harry Potter for claiming that Voldemort is back.
It's like, these people are fucking nuts.
And they're lying, and it's a whole conspiracy, and yada yada. But when really it's like, no, that's the
best
truth.
book, worst movie.
Yeah, and okay. And they're, like, in denial about it, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's the angle that they're taking here, where, like, the Jedi are in denial that the Sith are back. They don't want to believe that it's true, and so 100 years later, Kiadi-Mundi has been carrying this.
It's like,
without seeing the truth.
They haven't been seen for millennia.
Yeah, and he's holding on to that. He's like, no. The Sith are not back.
They can't be back.
Yeah, because then I would be wrong.
And I have a really big brain.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you've noticed. I've got 3 brains, bro. Therefore, I cannot be wrong. I don't know. I think that'd be interesting.
He didn't see his clones turning on him.
Yeah. On that note, to carry it back to this episode, who the fuck is this guy, the Stranger? Because
I don't know. He seems to have... Yord recognized him. Oh, wait. But that's because he saw him earlier. Never mind. He saw him in episode 2.
Some at the bar.
Yeah.
Or in the Apocrypha 3 or
Chimere seemed to know Soul specifically.
Soul and Chimere seem to have a connection.
And he seems to have
But
a
they don't
bone to
know
pick
why.
with all of the Jedi that were on that planet.
Right.
That were stationed there. Because he's the one that ordered their deaths.
Yeah, there's more to be explored.
He might be playing into May wanting revenge. But
there's a fun theory that he might be the original Ren. from the Knights of Ren.
Well, yeah, because towards the end of this episode, we hear Kylo Ren's theme, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And we know a little bit about the Knights. Oh, it was tilted weird.
There you go.
There we go. We know a little bit about the Knights of Ren from, like, the Kylo Ren comic book.
Uh-huh.
But not that much.
So I got a page from a comic book here.
Oh, okay.
Where Darth Vader encounters a Knight of Ren.
So they were active during the Galactic Civil War?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or at least right.
Maybe not active, but like active, but not like
some exist.
Yeah.
As in Kylo Ren is by no means the first one. Is what I'm saying.
Right. No. Yeah. Because Kylo Ren, he joins them.
I guess.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of background on that.
There is a comic about him
okay.
joining them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Anyway, Darth Vader's fighting them, and Darth Vader's like, "Oh, you have a red lightsaber, but you are a pretender, basically. Like, you're not me. I'm the Sith Lord." And the guy who he fights says, "I took it from the one who held my name before me, an old name, a name of power, Ren." And he's got one of those kind of similar masks, right? And he says, blah blah blah. Darth Vader says some shit to him, and they talk some shit, and that's kind of it.
But yeah, no, I could see like Chimere obviously not being his name at all. Yeah, and I could. The thing is, he kind of looks like his name could be Ren.
He kind of looks like a Ren, doesn't he?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is he could be the OG Ren, because also the mask, it's got like the little flap at the end. You know, it kind of comes out.
Yeah.
And I feel as if maybe all that's connected. You know.
So maybe he does start his own religion.
Yeah.
Well,
he wants an acolyte.
Right.
Notice that he doesn't say apprentice. He says acolyte.
So this whole time, maybe the whole trick on us, because we thought the show was going to be about the Sith.
Yeah.
Maybe it's about the Knights of Ren.
Yeah.
And how they formed.
God, and I've been saying this forever, is like the way that Clone Wars made the prequels better in retrospect.
Well, yeah, all the new content we're getting is related to the sequels, as I think it should be, because we should be moving the story forward.
Yeah, it's also not set during the sequels, but it is carrying into it. Like, Mandalorian is setting up all of the political shit that's going to set up the First Order, and like this could be setting up the Knights of Ren, which is something that we've desperately wanted more context on.
Yeah,
because
we're like, those guys look cool. We don't know
Who
anything
are
about
they?
them. Yeah,
I don't know. J.J. Abrams is like, that's a story for another day.
I'm still waiting to figure out how Maz got Luke's lightsaber. I'm still waiting.
Oh boy. Soul fights Chimere again and overpowers him, but is stopped from killing him by Osha.
Damn it, Osha.
I know, but also like Osha's like, hey, like, don't you not do this? Like, aren't you a Jedi?
He's too dangerous to be left alive.
Yeah. I do like. I'll come back to this. She plants a light on Chimere that causes the Force bugs to attack him and carry him away.
She sacrifices her droid.
Well, does she get him back?
I don't think so.
I think she does.
I think he sliced it up.
I think she got him back at some point. Anyway, May uses Osha's stun gun on Soul so she can speak with Osha, but they end up arguing about each other's choices, and May uses the Force to knock Osha unconscious.
Also, how would she get it back if Osha's unconscious at the end of the episode still?
I don't know. I thought for whatever reason, I thought the droid was okay.
I'm pretty sure Chimere slices the droid off of him.
Okay. So stopping Soul from killing Chimere is something that some people have took issue with, and I'm like, just because some Jedi have overexerted their power doesn't mean that it's the Jedi way, and that other Jedis may not.
Well, it's not the Jedi way.
Right.
So it's like, in a way, Osha was right.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, in the grand scheme of things, would it have the smart thing to do would have been to kill him?
Yeah. And I feel like most times you see a Jedi killing something or someone, it's
in like the heat of battle and self-defense.
Or battle, yeah.
Anakin's the exception where we see him literally execute people.
Yeah. He's Darth Vader at that point.
He disarmed
yeah.
Dooku and then killed him.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah. I think this is fine. Again, she's just reminding Soul of his purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And Soul is keeping his vengeance in check. as a good Jedi would.
Right.
Because, yeah, this guy did kill like 10 Jedi, including Jackie, a child. Right.
And Soul's upset about that.
Yeah, but he's not going to break yet.
Yeah. But Kymir says some interesting things that hint that Soul's hiding something. So
I heard another...
He's got a secret. I just don't know what it is.
I heard another theory is that they're long-lost brothers.
Maybe.
And I think that theory is only because they're both Asian actors.
Right.
Other than that, I don't think it holds too much water. But, like, they could have some
sort of connection.
I think Soul mentions
they're
that, like,
familiar with each other.
They're familiar with each other in some way. So
yes.
We'll see. But May steals Osha's clothes and poses as her sister when returning to Soul, who takes her to their ship. They are followed by a suspicious Basil. He's the key to all of this, I'm telling you. Kymir frees himself from the bugs and comes across the unconscious Osha.
Also, May cuts her hair with the lightsaber. Which ends up making her hair look longer for some reason.
No, she had long hair. And she cut off the long hair.
It wasn't that short, though. I don't know.
Her hair was to, like, her lower back.
Oh.
You can't see it in a lot of scenes.
Because it's behind her. Okay.
And she still has bangs, too. So what she did...
Because when I see her from the front, I'm like, she still looks the same.
Yeah, but the hair is much longer. That's why she went
like that and put her... Yeah,
she cut it and then cuts it off, yeah. And people... You know, like, this episode...
The angle's weird
to
on
me,
when she does
this episode's a 10 out of 10. It knocks it out. Just totally knocks it out of the park. And so I came out of this going like, oh, what are the haters gonna hate on? Right. And they jump to the haircut scene, which I just think is so fucking stupid. Like,
my thing is gonna be, how does Soul not notice that that's not?
Because he's in extreme shock. That's why.
Okay.
Do you not see like how he was walking back like just soullessly to the ship? Like
he just had a lot happen.
This is rock bottom, man. Like he comes from an age where Jedi like don't die.
And like, he just saw all of them die.
They haven't been at war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like nothing really bad happens. Every now and then
they're basically like they're like mall cops.
Yeah. You know, they've never been challenged. And here, like, he lost everybody. He's responsible for all those deaths, including Jackie, who's a child.
And his Padawan. No,
his Padawan's the other one, I thought. Jackie. No, it is his Padawan.
Yord was his Padawan, right?
Okay, the girl with the big ears. Whose Padawan is that?
Maybe that was his.
This came up in episode 1.
Maybe that was his former Padawan. One of them was like his former Padawan. One of them is current Padawan.
I think Jackie is someone else's Padawan.
Is she?
Then why is she along the mission? We'll look this up later.
I don't remember the relationships between them all. It happens very quickly. And I've only seen each episode once. I haven't rewatched anything yet.
Yeah. No, her droid fell when Kymir cut himself free. She hasn't gotten it back yet. Well, but the droid survived, though.
I don't know.
I think it survived.
I know you see it hit the ground. I thought it looked like it got sliced. I was also watching this on an iPad. Because I was staying at your in-laws' house. So I was just sitting in bed watching the iPad, trying not to like yell, "Holy shit!"
Yeah. So anyway, Soul is just completely devastated, which is why he's not thinking clearly. Otherwise, like, he would recognize May. I really think he would through the Force. Number one, obviously she's got that big old circle on her forehead. She's trying to hide with the bangs.
Yeah.
But like, if you're not looking for this, you may not expect it. It's like we were talking about Logan when he gets killed by X-24. Like, he may have seen him coming, but he wasn't expecting to. You know, he wasn't on the defensive.
Right.
So I'm interested in seeing how the switcheroo plays out, because at some point I think Soul might come to his senses.
Well, Soul also said when we get back to the ship, I'll explain everything to you. He said that to Osha.
Yeah.
So maybe he's gonna tell May the story.
Oh.
Maybe he's gonna tell her what really happened.
That'd be dramatic, actually. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Maybe May kills Soul after that, if it's something she doesn't want to hear.
Fuck, dude.
I don't think Soul's making it through to the end, as much as I like him.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Well,
I feel like every Jedi that witnessed
is gonna die.
Has to die.
Yeah. I don't
and
think
then maybe May and
wrong.
Osha go missing, or maybe they do become acolytes.
Yeah, and I think that's the point where the Jedi, especially like Ki-Adi-Mundi, are gonna be like, hey, yeah, like they're not the Sith.
Like, I feel like the show might not have a happy ending.
Yeah, they're like, and that's just it.
Yeah, I'm kind of down with that. So we'll see.
So overall, on these 3 episodes? I don't know if we have time for Easter eggs. We've already been talking for a while.
I mean, episode 3 is definitely the weakest so far, but I think a lot of it's because of where it was placed.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it brings the pacing to a halt.
Yeah.
So I think that episode would have been better after this episode.
Yeah.
We get our high. Now we can drop down a little bit, slow it down.
No, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
Either that or do the Lost method where it's interspersed throughout like 2 episodes.
Yeah, and then maybe through that you could have had another episode of like more content.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because also like Soul is Jackie's master, says Billy did.
Oh, and the big ear girl was Yord's Padawan.
Yord's Padawan.
Because Yord had just become a knight.
Yeah, Tassi Lowa. She didn't go on the mission. She stayed back.
Oh, she's not going to be happy.
Yeah, she survives. Yeah, big ear girl. She looks like a rabbit. What were you just saying?
I don't remember. Train of thought derailed.
I'm so sleepy.
I was talking about how I thought episode 3 was the weakest, but not necessarily because of the episode
Oh
itself.
yeah. I was just thinking about how much it would have worked if you had just done the Lost method, where like, whenever you cut back to a flashback, you do it from a different character's point of view, and you intercut that with what that character is doing in the future. So basically, like, you would get like May having a scene, and then you'd flash back to May as a child, and then you would have Osha do a scene, and then you'd flash back to Osha doing, like, being a child, and you would do it that way. And I think
that would have even worked better than the weird like force vision she had in episode 2.
Yeah, just cut back to something real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think that's also kind of forgettable, that force vision. Mm-hmm. It's just foreshadowing.
And it was like
foreshadowing. Yeah.
It was almost confusing for like no reason. It seems
right.
like it was just to show like, oh, she has a twin, she's alive.
Yeah. But 4 and 5 I really enjoyed.
Yeah, 4 and 5 are like
the best episodes,
and it almost works as like one long episode.
Yeah, one big episode. Yeah. So, and I think that's how because it's called Day and then
Day
night.
and Night.
I think, originally it was probably written as Day/Night, and they're like, let's expand it a little further. Let's make it 2 episodes.
Let's kill more. Let's show more carnage.
Let's kill more people.
Yeah.
But
I know the way those 2 episodes work together, 4 and 5, is, I think, incredible.
Yeah. And then we didn't mention the lightsaber action is phenomenal.
It's very good.
So good.
I don't know if it beats the movies, but it is up there.
It's definitely on par with the prequels.
Yeah.
And it's 20 minutes. So it's like, you can't hold it up to like Revenge of the Sith or something, but like,
which is like 1 20-minute duel.
Yeah. But like, it definitely
I think it beats Phantom Menace. Yeah.
Oh, Phantom Menace is great though.
I know, but it might be because that Darth Maul fight's very good, but I think what we see here, it's like we're also seeing like stuff that we haven't seen on screen before. We haven't seen.
Oh yeah, some of the moves that they're doing are brand new. And Soul mentions that like I can't
like some of the techniques and stuff.
He's not trained in a certain discipline, so like I can't predict his movements or whatever.
Right.
It's like he's
also Yord says that.
Or Yord, yeah.
Yeah, because he doesn't follow like the rules of combat. He's
right. But he's also like stabbing, and like
I think I saw him like turn off his lightsaber too, and then like turn it back on, and like he was doing stuff like that.
Like
which
Rey,
is apparently like a forbidden move, but
is it really? Well, Rey does that.
It's just dishonorable.
Rey. I want to say like Rey and Kylo do that in Last Jedi.
I think they do that too. Yeah.
They're turning them on and off a lot.
They're also not really Jedi or Sith.
Yeah.
So
they're not really like
Kylo's not a Sith.
Right. Well, he wants to be, but
he
he's
wants
not.
to be, but he's.
I mean, hang on a second though. Philly, we're not listening to you.
Rey is without honor.
He's literally being trained by Palpatine, though, a version of Palpatine. So he is as good as a Sith, and he's doing it all. I understand. He's a Knight of Ren,
right?
Originally,
like officially, he's not. He never joined like the
but
Sith.
He's also doing it in Darth Vader's honor.
Yeah.
Number one.
He also never had a Darth title.
He's right, but like he's also being trained by literally Palpatine.
Yeah, but he didn't know that
through proxy from a fake body.
Yeah,
obviously he doesn't know that, but What I'm saying is Kylo Ren is basically a Sith. For intents
in all but name, I guess.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, the action. They fixed the lightsaber problem, which all these Star Wars properties had since the Disney era, which is that they wanted that nice glow, so the lightsaber props were heavier and they could do less action with them.
Right, which is like good for certain things. And I still thought the fight in Force Awakens was really good. But you could tell that those were heavy props.
Yeah.
But what I liked about that fight is it felt very like raw, and it felt like inexperienced people trying to kill each other.
And
it worked in that.
That's why I'm fine with all those fights, because it's like that's the idea behind them.
Yeah.
But like in Ahsoka's like,
I think that's where it shows the most.
Yeah, because Ahsoka's supposed to be like a master of swordsmanship.
Yep.
And like she kind of,
her movements are like pretty slow.
Yeah.
But it's because the props are too
Yeah.
They were too heavy for Rosario Dawson.
And then not only that, but like she just does movements and they animate around it instead of choreographing it properly. Whereas this, and it's like, dude, Star Wars is listening and improving. Like they heard and saw the issues in Ahsoka, which is a very good TV show in my opinion, and then said, well, let's fix the lightsaber problem and let's go back to what we were doing in the prequels where everyone loved the lightsaber action.
Yeah.
And they did it. They fixed it. It's fantastic.
Yes.
I'm excited for Ahsoka season 2 now because they're going to fix that problem.
Maybe we can have her jumping around and stuff.
Hell yeah. I mean, get a stunt double in there, obviously.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So that's good. It's like, and I feel, I don't know. I feel out of place that I'm defending this when most people are criticizing it, but like, this is objectively good.
Yeah, I agree.
That the choreography has stepped up to the level that we've always wanted it to be. Since episode 3. 2005.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Baylan Skoll's going to be recast, they basically said today.
Which don't get rid of the character. Yeah. Just do Ray justice, though.
Right. Oh, Ray. Ray Stevenson.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Ray Skywalker. Anyway. Is Mephisto in any of this? 3, 4, and 5.
Chimere has some Mephisto qualities.
Well, here's the thing. Is Chimere a lone wolf in this?
He said he wants an acolyte, but that doesn't necessarily mean that...
You think he has a master or not?
He might. I think he might.
But if he's not a Sith, he doesn't necessarily have to be in the master-apprentice system.
There was a couple things said in the episode that got me thinking, too. When Yord was talking about how like he gets in your head. Yeah. And then Osha's like, my mom used to be able to do that. I know it's maybe not quite this one-to-one.
He also wears the helmet.
Right.
Partially to hide his identity. He makes a great joke about that, and I loved it. Because
he's still funny, even though he's fucking brutal.
I just want to point out, like, the dialogue is stiff on purpose because these are all people from the High Republic Jedi Order.
Right.
So, like, they
are stiff socially. Yeah. They don't know how to fucking socialize
and they
with
have
people.
to have that George Lucas style dialogue.
Yeah. But then you had Chimere who's like joking with them.
That's what I'm saying. Chimere's a Han Solo character.
Right, because he had that line in episode 2 that made me laugh, where he's I thought he was with you.
Yeah. Because he's funny and he talks normally, and it works in contrast to everybody else. But then when he's a villain, he's still doing it. Yeah. And I just fucking love that.
He says something, it's like, well, I wore a helmet.
Yeah. It's like, well, why aren't you hiding your identity? He's like, well, I mean, I was wearing a helmet. In my defense.
Philly thinks he's a lone wolf. I think he might have a master.
I think he could be. It could go either way. I think he could be a lone wolf. If he's truly like the Wren, then like he's probably without a master.
But clearly he seems like he was Jedi trained though at some point.
Could be. He could just be strong.
That's true too.
He could you know what, he could have also just been around Jedi.
What if Snoke is his master?
Doesn't make any goddamn sense. The original Snoke, the model for Snoke, right?
Snoke was like the Mephisto of Star Wars for a bit.
It really was, yeah.
But no, is Mephisto in this? I mean, if Chimere has a master, it's Mephisto. Because he's an evil dude, man.
A lot of people are waiting for like a Plagueis, because he could.
The time period kind of fits.
It fits. Plagueis is old.
Plagueis
Sith,
could be.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But like Plagueis could be old. Plagueis could also show up and like kill him.
Yeah.
For all we know, be like, hey, what are you doing? Only
there was
one of
another
me.
theory jumping around. It was not Plagueis. I think it was Plagueis's master, who was a Bith. The people that that species. He was one of those, but apparently
clarinet mouths.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot the name. I think it started with the T.
God damn it.
But apparently he was like something. It was something with his name that translated to like poison. And they're like, oh, Chimera made poison, and it's people jumping through hoops to try and make something work. But like there's a little bit of possibility there. I don't know though. I think the Plagueis thing would be more exciting.
I would be excited if he just has a cameo, because it's like he's the most famous Star Wars character to never grace a screen. I think. You know what I mean?
Besides like Mara Jade, yeah.
No. I mean like in movies, like in canon.
Oh, like he's mentioned, yeah. But we never see him, yeah.
Yeah. Him and
before Clone Wars, I would have said Sifo Dyas.
I was gonna say Sifo Dyas, yeah.
But he had a couple episodes in Clone Wars where we actually got his story.
Right.
Turns out he went crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it for us, you guys. Come back next time. We'll find out if Mephisto is in the Acolyte when we do episodes 6, 7, and 8.
What if Mephisto is the Acolyte?
Oh. he just finds like a baby Mephisto. He's like, I'm gonna train you. You shall be my acolyte.
He came in through a Doctor Strange portal.
Anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing to or supporting us on Patreon. You know where to find us. We'll be on the Discord server, in the Patreon chat. We're never in the Patreon chat. I don't know why I say that. But come hang out with us on Discord, and we'll see you guys next time on Where's Mephisto.
Bye.
Okay, goodbye. There's no music at the end.
There should be.
You're not wrong. I'm just saying there's not. Philly says the Acolyte is better than all the sequel
Clone
series.
Wars is better than all the prequel series. So
there you go. Philly's also making fun of the way I say wolf. I don't know what you want from me. Wolf.
How do you say milk?
Milk.
Oh, okay.
Am I saying wolf wrong?
It sounds like you're not saying the L.
What do you say? So you say it.
Wolf.
I did it that time.
I make fun of the way my sister says milk because she says milk.
Well, that's not even in the L. That's in the vowel.
I know. And she's just done that her whole life, and I'm like, you're saying it wrong. You're saying it wrong. You're putting an E in there.
Yeah. Milk. During that conference, somebody was giving a speech, or a presentation. They were talking about antennas, and they kept on saying
antennas.
Antennas. I'm gonna fuck it. Antenna, or antenna.
Antenna.
They put an A in there.
Was it just like an accent thing, or
no? I think they were just saying it wrong.
Oh,
yeah.
Damn.
And I kept on thinking, like, is that how it's spelled? And like, I'm dumb. No, it's spelled with an E. It's spelled correctly.
Yeah. Antenna.
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 I hated it. 12:27. I think we gotta go. I think I'm tired.
I think I'm tired.
Yeah. I think I'm done, you guys.
All right.
Hold on.
Acolyte. This is
Acolyte 2. Save.
I'm liking the show a lot so far, though.
Yeah.
Fuck the haters.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've always been on team fuck the haters. I didn't need this show to teach me that. Okay.
All right.
Clone Wars is better. Oh, yeah. Good night, boys. All right,
Good night,
Philly.
Philly.
Thanks for hanging out. Good. Thank you, everybody who's still here. We had a huge party of people when we were just shooting the shit, and that was a lot of fun.